Hmm. For me?
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Nilesh Mathure, and I'm one of the co-founders of SaaS Tribe. Thanks for joining our weekly LTD discussion. We also actually, at the last moment, have Ankit joining us, so we're going to change scenes. But guys, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I'll bring Ankit on as well.
Joe,
Hey,
you're the
Joe
top
here.
left.
I'm back. Me and Win are back for another fun night of
Marathon.
LTD talk.
Another marathon.
Yeah, why not? Let's see how many hours this takes. Though Neelish already said we're gonna keep this down to a minimum if possible, so we don't drink too much tea.
Jason?
Yep. Jason looks like he's frozen.
I think
Oh,
there's a delay on from Neelish's end. Yeah, some delay.
on my end?
I
Really?
don't know. I think it's from all of us. It's a little slower.
Jason has.
Jason just froze.
Yes. Hey, Jason, do you want to log back in? I hope you can hear us. Oh, okay. Let me change the scene. Bring everybody on. Okay. Now I gotta change the names here. Uh, all right.
You could keep me as Win. That's fine. I like being Win. All right.
Okay. All right. So let me get Ankit here. Ankit, how are you doing?
Yes. All good,
Uh,
guys. It's morning over here in Bangkok, so it's a different type of brew. It's just water over here.
Oh,
Or
that's
Papa Joe.
great. You know what? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Just there's a little bit of a mix-up. Let me correct this. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I'm gonna get to you here.
Double the win.
Yes.
This is like the Matrix.
Yeah.
There's 2 wins.
Oh dear. Overdose.
There we go.
Oh, there's Jason.
Hey,
Jason
Jason.
here. Yes.
And I gotta get Ankit right here. 1 second. Now, which one am I changing? Okay. Yes.
Double the win.
Yes. There we go. Are we all
Cool.
settled in? Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Sorry for that, folks. My apologies. It's my mistake. I use Ecamm. So in Ecamm, you actually have to set the scenes. And if you know exactly who's going to join, then I set up the scenes and you assign the guest. And then we don't have this issue, but we're doing it randomly. So my apologies. So Ankit, why don't you go and introduce yourself? And Jason got frozen when he was about to introduce himself. So we'll get Jason to introduce himself as well. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, I've been in the LTD sphere for a while. You guys know me, but I'm actually a marketing director for a film production company based out of Bangkok. Before that, I used to have my own travel business. Started marketing from after school. So yeah, that's what I do. But I love LTDs because it's something new and it's different, and I love playing around with different tools. And I get to hang out with you guys, so it's pretty much fun.
Oh, that's great. And Ankit, you maintain your own blog too, right? You are into agency. Like, do you have your own agency?
On the side, I do some agency work, but what's happened now is there's a lot of young people who want to learn, and I'm doing this blog marketing with WP because I've worked extensively on WordPress, and I do a lot of marketing as well. So I want to share that information through the blog, and that's what I'm doing with it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
something
great.
new.
That's great. I know I've seen some of your articles and they're really insightful. So I appreciate you sharing that. And thanks for joining.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's not beer, but hopefully we'll have a coffee next time and you can have beer. Jason, how are you, Jason?
Gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you all.
Good to see you too. Good to see you. Cheers.
I'm going to grab my drink in a minute and I'm going to keep it a surprise because I don't know if I'm going to grab an alcoholic number or a non-alcoholic number. We'll see when. Well, I've just coached a session, so I've got to wait for all my kids to leave before they see me with a beer in my hand.
Okay. Okay.
Ah, right. I thought you looked like you were at some kind of gymnasium or school.
yeah, looks like a locker room.
Yeah, I'll give you a tour in a minute. I'll show you my place of work. It's a very impressive facility. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. That's amazing. Yeah, would love to see it. So it's like an indoor soccer facility?
It's a sports dome, yeah. So it's effectively, the best way I can describe it is a hot air balloon over a soccer pitch.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's an
Pretty cool.
indoor sports dome, yeah.
How
Oh,
cold?
yeah.
Is it starting to get cold in Alberta?
It's starting to get fresh. Not cold yet, but it's starting to get fresh, yeah. I had to wear a jacket walking my dogs this morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Autumn. Fall, eh? Autumn.
Yes, fall.
Yeah,
Fall.
fall is coming, yeah.
Yeah, it's chilly in Toronto as well. Like it's about, at nights it's getting to about 14 degrees.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Win is our home brew.
Mate, it's like the best beer. I keep on saying that every time I get on here. It really is. I wish you guys could have some of my beer. I reckon I could sell this.
I would love the time to come when we're having a Win beer and a Joe pasta dish. That would be a nice meal.
That's my mother-in-law's pasta dish. I can't cook.
Okay.
I love cooking. I'm a pretty deadly cook too.
I can cook.
Yeah, I like cooking. I mean, I have to follow the recipes, but I really enjoy. I think our favorite kind of meals are Thai. I love cooking Thai. I know this is not a cooking show, but I tell you what my favorite recipe is. I do coal fired roasts. So I get the coal barbecue using hardwoods, and then I get a big fillet and I make sure I tie that thing up so it's a ball. Cover it in salt, get it all cured, and then wash the salt off a bit. Put some oil on it. Put it in the coal barbecue. Set it on low, so you don't want it too hot. It's like an hour and a half, and it looks all blackened, but man, when you cut into it, it's just unreal. Sorry to all the vegans out there, but unbelievable for all of you meat eaters. Wow.
I get Win has. I'm pretty sure Win has some LTD tools for those as well. The real hardware.
That's right.
Alston is joining with a morning coffee. So yeah, I guess a lot of folks in Asia. So it's a bit early mornings. Thanks, Alston, for joining. Ruhani, how's it going? How are you? And then we have Sam. Okay, so Sam is based in Toronto actually. Yeah, we should invite Sam one of these days.
Lots of people in Toronto, man. Lots of people in this community in Toronto, or Canada in general, right? Jason
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Nish.
You can see who is based in Toronto, and I was talking to Joe, and we're thinking maybe we do like a local. Joe's idea was like do a local meetup, and I was like, yeah,
Well,
we could certainly do that. I have like I mean, would be hard. Like, yeah, Jason, probably, you can fly, or we
Yeah.
can time it around when you are going to be in Toronto. Yeah, I mean, but we could definitely do a meetup, like local meetup. So we'll have to do one in uh, Bangkok, we'll have to do one in New Zealand, York, and all other places.
Yeah, I can take care of New
that's
York
a great
City,
idea.
or Neelish. We can meet halfway between I don't know where, Binghamton in New York.
No, I love New York. I love New York.
We got to meet
will go.
halfway somewhere.
Yeah, no, I can come to New York for that for sure. Yes, I would love that.
That's a great idea, man. Like, that's actually a really cool idea. Doing that,
Yeah, let's get the
with
tribe going worldwide.
Yeah.
in between
And then we could
intermittent,
connect it.
the intermittent lockdowns. We can do it in between them. So you get locked down for 2 weeks, and they let you out. We all join together, go and do our meetup, get COVID, go back to lockdown again.
And then everyone will meet up at their location, and then we could do an air meet, run the world. We'll do a poll before which video tool should we all use, and which one works and which one doesn't. That's real testing right there.
That's right. If you fail on SES Tribe with your tool, then everyone's going to know.
Did you hear Joe? Joe in
Yeah.
New York was using Run the World, and Neelish was using Air Meet. No wonder his meetup was better.
Speaking of which, has anyone tried that Canopy or Canopy or
Canop-
however you
yeah, yeah. I mean, I looked at the tool. I'm not sure. So to be,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
No streaming. That was a problem. The
No streaming. Okay.
RMPP streaming, and the limits were kind of rough compared to Run the World. They were
Ankit-
comparing it to Air Meet, but it's not Air Meet.
It was a tough call for them, really, because obviously I know Air Meet only came briefly and it was for the plus people, but I think people went for that, and then a week later Canopy comes out, and I think a lot of people, me included, I went Run the World just to make sure that I've got it in my backup. So I think it was tough timing for Canopy, really.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Run the World so far. They fixed the issues that they had with the spam the world. I
Yep.
was calling it for a while because they were doing that, and then the video quality it's not 4K yet like Neelish would like, but it is 1080 now, and before it was stuck at 720, I believe. So not mobile ready yet, but
Question for you. Question for you with your streaming, right? So okay, you got ear meat. I got Hoppin. I got the old Hoppin deal. You guys got ear meat, and then there's Run the World and now Canopy. Question for you, like my wife is considering doing live streaming, Facebook lives or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just some kind of live. Facebook has a real problem with doing live streaming in terms of the video quality. It would be lucky if it was like a 320p, right, resolution. So we talk a lot around the 4K thing. Realistically, I mean, who's getting even a 1080, a clean, reliable 1080p stream?
I've seen
YouTube.
Facebook get a 1080, get the HD. But this is a constant problem I have as well, because it will automatically buffer, and sometimes it depends on your bandwidth on the user end that it adjusts. And it's been driving me crazy, because no matter what tools I use, Be Live or Restream, StreamYard, when I start streaming live to Facebook, it'll start out at like very low quality, and then as it builds up, about a minute in, it'll go to 1080. It's very unpredictable. I've been trying to test with Waxo as well, another tool. I mentioned, hey, when I put I produced a Waxo video, why is the quality so low? And then me and Daryl were figuring out it's on Facebook's end, their compression, the user bandwidth. So you can get it, but it's I wish someone could answer this question. I'm glad you mentioned it, Wayne, because it's been driving me crazy for like over a year now. And Facebook, I think it's on their end, but Facebook Live, I have watched lives that are in HD, so you can do it. It just, I don't know, it's unpredictable.
Yeah. No. There are. So in this particular case, what we're doing. Okay, did you want to say something before?
No, I was reading Ruhani's post.
Oh yeah.
Jason's replying to that. It's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the secret, Jason Blake. Somehow one of your Restream account ended up in my hand. I see.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But in terms of video compression, guys, I think it's super normal. Like, I work in a video field, right? Whenever we upload videos on the platform, I mean, if it's live stream, it's even more complicated. But even a normal video, they process it. There's always time taken, and in the beginning, they will give you the least best resolution, right? Like 320p, like this Joe said, and then later on, once all the processing and rendering is done, then you get the higher quality, And now for a live stream, there's two ends of it, because there's a person who's uploading and there's people who's looking at it. So there's like simultaneous stuff going on. So the technology in terms of that is still pretty new,
Yes.
Yeah.
And the whole streaming requires lots and lots of things to be going well, right? So one of the things is like basically all the LTD accounts which are on Restream, they're not 1080p. You don't get that, right? So, but what we are doing is basically we're using Ecamm, so we are still shooting, producing the whole video in 4K. Now, does it fully stream over Restream? So yeah, Restream allows RTMP in. So once you allow RTMP in, you can't really, because it's live stream, you can't really compress it any further, and it will induce any other delays and things of that nature. So what's happening is you're still getting a good quality. If you look at our stream, it's better than I think 720p, but again, it depends on who is connected, right? So of course, if you're going to record a video locally, you can get the best 4K quality, and then you can upload it. But live stream, as Ankit mentioned, it's fairly new. Now, you can actually live stream in 4K on YouTube. So YouTube is a little bit ahead in terms of the live stream game. The challenge is, once you produce a 4K stream, the amount of bandwidth you need is even more, right? Like it's massive. So I don't suggest nobody stream in 4K yet, but 1080p, yes, absolutely doable. Yes, ours, if you look at our screen shares, right? If you look at our screen share, I think the resolution is better with Ecamm versus using
It
just
is
native air meet
absolutely.
or run the world or something,
It is. Yeah.
because once you share the screen, it's very blurry in some of these applications. But what you're doing using Ecamm, vmix, uh, OBS, right, really is you're using a software encoder and encoding it, so you're
Yeah.
not using a cloud encoder, and that gives you better quality. Yeah.
But it's not just the
And it's
front
changed
end
the industry.
with people.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe. Yeah.
Sorry, and like this evening when I was mentioning Neelish to you, on the back end also you have the front end when you're streaming, and then we have our back end studio that we're working on now. And tonight I'm getting a little more of a delay, but last night it was sharp on the back end. But I see on the front end when I'm viewing, it's perfectly fine. So there's so many variables into streaming with the bandwidth. Like Rouhani mentioned, it's bandwidth. It's a big key. I'm on a Wi-Fi. I'm going 500 over 280 today, which is okay, but there's something else going on in the mix. And I guess the more guests we have on a stream, users, I don't know all the technicality that goes into that. If it's the host computer or one of our CPUs are running faster, what's running in the background that slows down video quality and sound, etc. So it's an adventure doing these things. It's always fun. We're testing tonight,
Yeah.
We still will
Yes.
run the world.
Oh wow, very cool. Yeah, I mean, Run the World for sure sounds like a great platform. One of the event which these Ecamm folks are doing, it's called Leap into Live. I actually had posted a coupon code, and it was with coupon code it was $14. Now the price has gone up to 38, but with coupon I think it's like $26 something. Um, but they are doing the entire event on Run the World. So I'm a little bit curious to find out, is that something which is a different tier altogether, or is it actually from AppSumo that somebody purchased it and they're running the entire event on Run the World, right? Yeah, so Ruani has a question. Is there anything equivalent to Windows for Ecamm? So vMix is really good. They have a perpetual license. I think it's a lot expensive. Uh, vMix has an advantage of, you can have up to 8 guests. In Ecamm, you can have one host plus 4 guests maximum. I think Ecamm eventually will increase the capacity, but vmix it's super powerful, uh, and with I think they just recently introduced subscriptions. It's $50 a month, so check it out. Yes. Hey Ankit, how are you? Is that Artit, how are you doing? And then who else? Are we going to take some comments, guys, quickly? Okay. Ruhani, hi again. That was from before. Name tags are messed up. Hey Chris, how's it going?
Yeah, Chris, that's me. I'm Joe. I was Win for a while. I was Win for a bit, and I felt good. Now I'm Joe again.
Sorry.
That wasn't my daughter. She's over there. She might yell later.
So hey, so Ronnie has a comment. Ankit has very thoughtful and helpful attitude. So there you go, Ankit. That's a compliment for
Thank
you.
you for your kind words, Rohani. Appreciate it.
I can eat quite well. Okay, Venkatesh. I think that was from our discussion before. I like to eat like a hobby. Okay, Ruhani. Who else? Oh, my plan is to go to Bangkok as soon this COVID is in down low. Okay, so you guys can have your own meetup for LTD discussion.
Yeah, I think Southeast Asia meetup, man. People from Southeast Asia, we can meet up somewhere in Bangkok by the beach, get some beer, chill out.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a meetup I would love to attend. Yeah, you know, I have around the world. Not sure what to do with it. I think keep it. Joe, you were saying now they're supporting 1080p, right?
What is it supporting?
Run the World is supporting 1080p.
Yes, yeah, they are now. I've tested it with my parents are overseas right now. We did a test the other night, and the quality. My mom was on her iPad. I was on my MacBook. It was excellent, very good, impressed. So they fixed that from the last time around, the last deal. But supposedly, it depends on the user bandwidth. Again, if somebody's in a lower Wi-Fi zone bandwidth, it will drop down considerably.
Okay, Venkatesh is saying I have a good output using OBS and Video Link or Switchboard. I haven't tried Switchboard, but I do have a 3-stack of Video Link. So maybe
OBS is great, but when I run OBS on my MacBook, the fan is just running like crazy. The CPU, the usage on OBS is very high. So I need a new computer for that.
Okay. I think we covered everybody. Hey, Lal. So what's today's topic? What are we talking about? Let's talk about nozzle, SEO, nozzle, and whatever, drama, whatever. Right? What do you want to talk about, Jason?
Interesting. I went on a bit of a spree in the last 24 hours, so I needed to watch the nozzle stream last night, and I got to say, really impressed. There was a lot to digest. I thought Derek was excellent. It's funny how when you get a good founder, you do not feel attached to their product. Did it with Writer Zen, and I thought the interview of the Writer Zen guy was great. And then Derek last night, nothing to do with the fact he's a soccer guy, but I thought Derek was great. I think football. I think just the empathy that Derek was showing to the LTD community and talking about future-proofing the product for LTD purchasers. I was really impressed. So nozzle I brought today. And then, as you know, I'm in the midst of testing Mastera. So had a good look at that today and started the process of that. And I'm just intrigued by Connexit, I think it's called, on AppSumo. I know a lot of people will be kind of Zapier and Pabbly people. But as somebody that enjoys a no-code environment, I'm intrigued to take a closer look, which I've not done yet. So I'll do that over the weekend. So lots for me, lots in my head at the moment.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, I think Nozzle's a beast, and it's just a lot of us have not explored it that deeply. But I think it's so much insight, and it's something that if you're really into SEO or even trying to understand what's ranking and how to occupy a lot of real estate in Google search, it provides a lot of insight. And I'm just waiting actually to see what other information and video tutorials the team can provide, because look, launching a product is one part, right? But being able to share how to use your product effectively is the other part. And I think if these guys come up with that, then they've got a solid winner here, And like Jason said, founder's attitude, amazing. He knows his stuff. He knows what he wants out of it. There's no reason or logic to screw anyone. There's his own pricing strategies already figured out. So it's a great deal, to be honest.
He had me at BigQuery. I went, what? BigQuery? How's it?
Yeah, when I saw your eyes open when he said that, you were like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad I got this.
It was at that point I put it in my cart in AppSumo. When Wynn's eyes did that, I added it to my cart. Yeah.
That is you want to know the best hack, secret trick is when you watch the videos of Wynn are on, if his eyes open like that, you put it in the cart. You do it right away. That means something.
I do the same with you, Joe. Like I follow what you're saying on the SEO tools because I don't really know, to be honest. So I'm trying to figure that was it. Too,
When that was my journey last night, when you opened your eyes the way you did, I put it in my cart. When Joe asked his questions and he got the answers he liked, I pressed buy. I paid the money on Joe's.
Nice.
I still have 2 pages of questions to ask him. Actually, I have a list. My thing with SEO tools, and I tell people, don't jump right away when I say, oh, I love this. We did a BitQ. Remember, Neelish? We went over that one night, and it wasn't working during the live. And then I contacted them, and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't know what happened. Sorry about that." I said, I was showcasing your platform. You should be a little more concerned. And they were like, "We don't know what happened, but we'll work on it." And I waited a few more weeks, and then I refunded it. I was excited. I test it like crazy. And then when I see issues, bugs, I move on if I have to. So like I said yesterday, the thing with Nozzle, I was going to pass that one by at first because I looked at the limits and I said, I already have SERP Watch. I'm not really happy with SERP Watch. It's slow and I'm not sure about Nozzle. Then I started talking to the founder, looked at the research that he's been in the business for a while. We had mutual friends on Twitter in the SEO community. That was a big, flag right there. I said, wait, there's something that's going on here. And then I got one code, looked at it. I said, this UI is totally different from anything I've seen. He's an
Beautiful.
SEO. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was beautiful. It's art, but I've been trying to discuss with Derek that the users, especially in the LTD community, they will not understand a lot of it because they're used to SERP Watch, Authoritas, Librica, the recent LTDs. Nozzle, if it's got some bugs, some hiccups here and there, but it's everything's getting fixed. As I check them off my list, they've been on top of it. They're improving the platform. It's not a rank tracking tool. It's a complete data miner. It'll get all the data you want. Yours, your competition, and the argument that I'm seeing, in the other groups, our group is, SERP Watch, you have 75,000 credits a month and this and that. But with Nozzle, you could check one keyword across the board against competition, and he's not going to charge you for each time. With SERP Watch, I was getting charged each time for that keyword.
Yeah,
that's great value right there.
So
and I
I'm
think
still
the
curious.
level. Yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
Sorry,
No,
you can go ahead.
You go.
Okay.
No, you
I
go.
think
You go.
the,
You go.
the type of people or the users that Nozzle targets, again, it's not for beginners, I would say,
I agree.
because you need to have been invested in understanding how Google SERPs work. Because when he did that single keyword breakdown for a SERP result tool, it actually tells you what other snippets are there. Are there site link extensions? What other things are there? Review snippets. There was a lot of things that was provided, and that's something that content writers and website owners can actually capitalize on. You just need to see what's going on.
How would you do that? How do you make money
let's
from
say
that?
you would analyze a keyword and its result, right? And you'd see if your keyword and your website pages are actually getting those site link extension or not, or even the review snippets or not. And you can see others are, right? You just, because Google shows the results and you're basically the answer, everything is in the search results already. And if your content does not have that, that's something you can add. What I mean is, let's say if your content does not have table of contents, but someone else has, and they get site link extensions, they're actually occupying more real estate in the results, right? And that's something you could do as well. And you already know that Google favors this type of content, so all you got to do is look at it and then do it. And now what Nozzle does is it kind of tells you how much space it is occupying, and usually kind of gives you insights into, okay, what amount of click rates they might be getting. So you get an idea saying, okay, this might make sense, this might not. And you know what it makes sense for? If your keywords are money keywords, it's super valuable keywords, that's where you do this research on. You might not do it for generic keywords, right? But then you get that competitive advantage. And I mean, it's pretty detailed because that's something we do on a regular basis, but your average Joe or average blogger might not use it. But trust me, eventually, if everything's going in that direction, then you would need to do this at some point of time,
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Thank you for that.
No problem, man.
That's very good. Hey, this is a question. How is Vidstep? Joe, you were talking about Vidstep today.
Yes. This is another example of don't listen to Joe, because I go from extreme to extreme within 2 hours. I love Vidstep. At first, I said, I got to get this. This is great for the courses, and it separates everything in your video. Then before I purchased, I looked for some example videos out there. and they were freezing up. It wasn't working. It was crashing. Neelish, I sent you over some screenshots. The founder saw my comments, and actually both founders, and they contacted me right away. And that was another issue I thought I saw from the past AppSumo deal, that the support wasn't that great. So I said, oh, this is another red flag. But the founders, both of them, reached out to me, said, hey, we're going to try to resolve the situation. We're not seeing it on our end. They were on Windows. I'm on a Mac. So that might have been part of the problem. And they've already found a solution a couple hours later. I didn't bash them in my comments at all, the VidStep, but I had it in my cart since yesterday. And then I was ready to get it. And then I saw that it's not working all the time. But then the founders came back. Boom, we have a solution. I'm going to test it tonight or tomorrow to see if everything works, and go with it, because I really think VidStep is that tool. I know Wilson and others will say, oh, it has vid in the name. Joe's going to buy it no matter what, because I love video. Which is, okay, that's kind of true. We know it's kind of true, right? Jason knows. Vid or SEO, I'm on it. But I do try to vet and research the tool as much as possible before I buy it, because I feel like a lot of these tools, they're overlapping. I had Fleek before, and I'm like, oh, VidStep is like Fleek, but Fleek is more screenshots. So I think VidStep has a good use, especially if you're doing a course. You can put one video in there and set it up as chapters. So if you want to fast forward to, we're going over nozzle. Say I have a nozzle video I put it through VidStep. I'll do an introduction chapter. I'll do nozzle, how to set up the overview, how to set up keyword groups, and then it'll fast forward to each chapter. So you can skip. You can go right to what you're looking for in the video, which I think VidStep the potential is amazing. I have a use case for it right away. It's just, I want to make sure it works on my Mac, and I want to make sure it works for everybody before I purchase it. So I'm on the fence with VidStep, and I think I will get it. If it works, I'm definitely going to get it and really test it. And the founders have been solid, both of them.
Okay, that's good to know.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I use is Cloud App. I've used that one for years. I love it. Is that like VidStep?
It's a little bit different. So Cloud App, yeah, you can do screen recordings and stuff like that. I think VidStep allows you to do a lot more than just
Really?
like it will you can upload the video and then break it down, kind of thing. Like it's mainly designed for any type of product demos and training kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. I
Jason,
was looking at
you
it.
would use it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go, Joe.
No, like for Jason's use case, I never tried Cloud App, but for like a coaching, if you did one video, I believe they're going to eventually have multiple video uploads, and they just are adding a screen recorder. They don't have a screen recorder yet, I believe. But Jason, say you do your videos on Berrycast or vMaker or any of the other tools, Loom, you do a video, and you do a whole video on soccer instruction. You would upload it to VidStep, and then you would separate it into the sections: goalkeeping practice, defensive players, how to score a goal, penalty shots, rules, etc., etc. So when people come to your VidStep video, we have short attention span these days. You jump to, if I'm a goalie, I'm going right to that goalie chapter. I'm ignoring the others. If I'm a midfielder, I'm going to that midfielder chapter. That's what makes VidStep so special.
Okay. Can you host your videos with them, like a LMS or something like that?
I believe it's what I've seen, it's hosted with them. They have their own landing page. I was worried about, it has the VidStep logo on the top left, but I've been reading in comments, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a white label option maybe, or to make the logo smaller. It seems like it's a YouTube kind of standalone player, you can host and embed. But I'm sure people in the comments, and you could have associate products as well with your VidStep on the lower tier. So Jason, if you are doing some sort of thing, on the bottom menu, you could show you're selling a soccer ball or cleats or another video course as your VidStep's going on. It's a very powerful, great. It's a real gem if it works. That's the key that I'm.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look at this.
Joe, can you keep me in the loop? Can I subscribe to your trial and your testing on that one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still waiting. I'm talking to the founders actually tonight, and hopefully can resolve the issues I've been having. And most of the people haven't had the same issues that I've been having. So I have to say that there's only been a few here and there. And they think it's something with certain videos, and I don't know if it's a Mac situation or not, but or my browser, or here's another problem with the extensions that we all have in our Chrome browser. I have everything. I have NextWeave. I have Nimbus. All these things. I have a vMaker, Vadu TV. These little extensions, Chrome extensions, will mess up other applications.
Yes,
You
they
know,
will. Yeah.
Blur Web, the app is great, but it was killing all of my WordPress websites when I tried to edit them. So I had to disable it at times.
I think personally, so VidStep has its own unique positioning. It's great for a company or a team that needs to do SOPs in volume. I think it's great if you want to show video SOPs saying, okay, step 1 do this, step 2 do this, step 3 do this, right? But for Fleek, I think it's a great for SaaS tool. The reason being, you know how dashboards keep changing, you know how the interface keeps changing, and for Fleek, you just put that image or you change the image and you have that option. You're not completely editing and re-uploading the same video. You can actually swap out the images. So that is a very neat feature of Fleek.
I really like Fleek.
Yeah.
Ankit, are you using Fleek and also the other tools, or like with Fleek? I just got scared. The founder is a little bananas, as people will say. He's not really good with support, but that didn't scare me off. What scared me off later was that some users were getting locked out of their accounts all of a sudden, and it was
some were downgraded.
Yeah, I refunded it. I kind of regret it because the founder being a little wacky, he was straightforward on the AppSumo questions. I even asked him, I said, your reputation is you kind of are just like, hey, this is my product. I'm not dealing with you. Do whatever you want. And I was like, oh, can you answer this question? Why are you like this? He's like, I just don't want to really deal with people. My product's good and that's it. It's like, okay, well, you're honest. But it was a good product. But VidStep, do you use VidStep, Ankit?
No. I've just seen it. Actually,
okay,
I don't have a.
I heard they are different.
Yeah. I think it's got its own use case. That's why. For Fleek, you're right. I mean, he's more focused on enterprise, and that's his main priority, is what I've heard. Right. I mean, but there's two sides of a story. I personally nothing's happened to me personally, so it's fine. But yeah, you don't know what you're getting usually.
I don't know. Fleek is one of the ones I regret. You have those regret refunds. I'm sure everybody in the comments could put which refund they might have regretted.
I had it. I
have Fleek. I rarely use it.
That's right.
I liked it. You know what my use case was? Because people said I don't get it. It's why do we need to record the video, the screenshots, when I have two little girls, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, screaming all the time in the background, and I'm trying to send a client a video, the video would be ruined by all of a sudden Leah's screaming. I was like, I got to do it over again. But when I could use Fleek and I could just use screenshots and put them together and circle and point and arrow, it was very useful, Fleek, for that. I got to say, the founder, that's his niche. He should really focus on that, because that was something different that I don't think VidStep can do. Or these other tools.
The biggest standout point was, like Joe said, you can replace those images, and also it does the video, the audio itself. You just put in a text and you give it an instruction. You don't need to have a voice recording, so it'll do it for you. So anytime anything changes on your instructions or your guide, then it's super easy to update. You're not creating a whole video again. You just change that and it's already done. Boom,
Don't make me regret refunding it, Boar.
No, Joe. I think you're fine. If you don't have a use case for it, it's fine.
All right, Fleek. No, I had it. I try to use it, but I just find it easier to spark up my cloud app and just rip out a new video. For me, that's so natural. It's actually quicker for me to do that than it is to do a screenshot, do the little arrows, type out my script. I'm actually very quick at just doing the whole screenshot thing, and away I go. I feel as for me, like I told you, it took me 2 or 3 days to write a blog post using phrase and doing all the keyword research. Kills me, Keyword research, yes, I understand. Going through and making sure you got all your topic clusters and yada yada yada, and I love writers in for that. It makes it much easier. But for me, I just find it so much easier to plan a basic outline of what I know that people are asking, what I know that they need. I just smash it out and do it. And I've had good success with YouTube over the years. It's a very dumb approach, but it seems to work for me.
Yeah, what do
Even
you
some
think?
folks were going after writer's end today as well. With I believe he's adding the AI part, some extra features, that might not be included in the LTD. And people are saying, "Oh, I'm going to refund." I got the LTD, and he's already adding things. And I'm saying, you know what? You got to be out of your mind if you're going to refund writer's end, because for that price, for that value, as a keyword explorer and cluster
Yeah.
tool, you can't beat that. That replaced one of my main monthly subscriptions, Mangles. I was spending $100 a month, and I got Writer's End. What was it, $69 or whatever? You want to refund that? Don't bother doing SEO. Just go spend tools on video games, whatever.
Hey, there is a comment here from Tina Stewart. She's saying, "Nozzle makes me think of Windows 95." What do you think about
Oh, no, it's a fair call. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a fair call. I think though, what my impression was from watching it last night, and I haven't used Nozzle, but just from looking at it, I have a strong impression that it's totally directed at CEOs, CMOs, CFOs. If you're a CFO of a company and you want to know what's working or what's not, you have one-page dashboards. You have somebody who generates monthly or weekly reports, and I'm talking about like high level dudes that get paid thousands of bucks. I know this because we're doing this for some clients, right? And they get these graphs that look like that, and they've got to be able to make. They go into a meeting on Monday morning and they make snap decisions about who's getting paid and who's getting fired, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. The founder's background already tells you a lot about how the tool's designed, right? Because they use it for themselves and they come from a SEO background. So the companies that are actually using it are businesses whose customers, whose traffic, everything is driven by SEO. So anyone else is not going to see value in it, right? But a
No.
company that knows that its business is super dependent on traffic coming from organic searches, they know the value of this tool. That's why the visuals like that. It's not meant to be looking beautiful or fancy, and it's
No.
not easy to use, to be really honest. It's not, because it's meant for people who do that type of analysis. So it's
Yeah. Just like if you go into Google Cloud, I do a lot in Google Cloud. That is by far the most user friendly of Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud. By the way, Google Cloud is way easier than the rest. But like you need the search bar to figure out how to get from one product to another. Like literally, there's over 200 products in there, and it's growing every week. Then when you get into a product, like there's no beautifulness. It's just very straight, plainly laid out. That's it. That's how all these enterprise tools are.
Well, I feel like for the middle management, even the upper management, using Nozzle, SEMrush, Ahrefs reports are great. They see that data, they love it. They kind of understand half of it at most. But for the CEOs and the guys up top, we usually at the agency have to make a customized, like a PDF, and have it in print and email it to them. And they just want to see some numbers on paper or in email. They don't even have time. We send them the data. We'll send them the Nozzle, right, or the SEMrush, and they'll
They
be
don't
like,
go
"Yeah,
in
it's
there.
great," but they just want to have that, PDF. Okay, this is where our money's going for this month's, campaign. All right, it looks like they put a report in with the customized branding on the PDF. They're more impressed by that. Wow, we got a custom report. If we give them the client portal to agency analytics or like I said, Ahrefs, they love it, but they don't look at half the stuff on there of what the tool can do. It's more for us, for the SEO, for the team, and the middle management. The ones that are hired as a marketing manager for that company, for our client, they will learn. They'll be like, hey, this is great, and then they'll relay it to the CFO, CEO, but then they go, "Hey Joe, can you make like a PDF report for me and kind of just grab some bullet points? What was our increase, our gains for the week?" And I'm like, "But it's in the nozzle. It's in the nozzle dashboard. Look at it." They're like, "I see it, but my boss is not going to look through all that." They just want to know, okay, I'm signing the check, no problem.
Well, I agree with you because I mean, what was telling for me was, oh, sorry, Jason, I talked across you there. What was telling for me was when they mentioned BigQuery and Data Studio. So that's how they intend for this tool to be used. They don't intend for people to spend days on end in the UI. This is where the data is. This is where you can play with it like Play-Doh. But once you know what you want, you export the data, you import it into BigQuery, you do some queries, you get it into the Data Studio, you make it look like you want, obfuscate most of the other nonsense that you don't want to see, and then you just see some basic data that enables you to make a decision.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, what were you saying?
Is WithStep interactive? Like after the video, the viewer can answer questions to proceed? Makes me think about query. That's Tina's comment.
I don't know.
Wiry.
I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far. If there's an interactive.
Oh, somebody has answered that question. There we go. WithStep doesn't have interactive features. Interesting. So is it like CTAs and stuff? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Tina, there's one more comment from Tina. She's saying, I onboard clients and I've been thinking of implementing tools to integrate video into it, but it needs to be more interactive and measurable. I don't see the point in WithStep. Okay. Russ, I love Fleek. It's great when I use it. Let me just cover the comments and we go back into the discussion.
Yeah.
I think because otherwise,
we get carried away.
I think maybe business. Okay.
What happened to Joe?
Turn in teddy bear.
That's awesome. I think he dived to the left, put his teddy bear there, expecting us not to notice. Hey, Joe. So,
Paper type is ending in a week. How is it compared to other AI tools? That's a tough one. I think what we're going to do is we will have an air meet, right? Where we decide the topic, we cover a couple of languages, maybe pick up, go to a vote, pick topics, right? We'll have the same input. We'll test various tools, what type of output they provide, and we'll go and test it a few different frameworks, and we'll have to define an outline ahead of time. And we'll keep the session open. We'll do it over a few days, and everybody can share their content, and then we can analyze it.
Yeah.
Right.
One interesting thing, guys. Just
Yes.
coming from a background.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any of the AI tools. Okay. The AI writing, but I did recently get Write Cream. The name's horrible. Everyone knows that. It's kind of you go in a different direction. But I don't know if their features are unique to others or not because I didn't get the others. But they had a few features where you could put an article link, and then it'll create an automated outreach saying, "Hey, I really like your article. Do a connection request." Stuff like that. So I'm not sure if any other tool does that or not. But I was testing out Write Cream. They do that. And another thing about Write Cream right now is it's a marketplace product. So if you get 5 stacks, you could potentially get unlimited credits and also unlimited users. Now, in terms of sustainability, that's a horrible decision, right? But in terms of user who want to get it, it's nice because you get that unlimited. But I do think they have a different niche or target compared to the rest of the AI tools. They're not focusing on long form or anything like that, but it's more about outreach and personalization. So if any of you test it out, let me know because I'll do my own test. And Nilesh, I think that Airmeet would be a nice idea to do that as well.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, that's something which we have been talking about doing for a while. Let's put all the AI copywriting tools to test and see what works best, right? I mean, there was a gentleman, credit to him as well, because we've been talking about it, but he actually made and went a post in the crow, in a pot of water and things like that, right? So it was funny. I mean, I use that same thing, and of course, headline for long form, you need to input a little bit more characters. And headline went way off, like it was off the charts. if I show it to you, I was like, wow, where are we going with this, right? I mean, I mean, like headline just went and almost was trying to get into, like with the crow, was trying to get into the KC Wong story, which he had posted about closer's copy. I was like, wow, where is this going? Anyway, I so Ruan is asking, anyone managed use Cisco Enterprise Network Admin UI? Ugly. I mean, we you do that like for a living, Ruani. So our entire team is like basically multiple CCIEs, in network infrastructure, data centers, wireless collaboration. So we do a lot of that. We live and breathe in Cisco iOS, and it's ugly, right? But it works. I mean, it's rock solid. It's enterprise class features, and that's what our customers demand. We never complain how iOS, is like, okay, back, think like working in Unix, right? For sure. But it works really well, and we enjoy it. So there are platforms which are very robust, ugliest UI, but they are rock solid. Like, we work in Cisco contact centers, Cisco UCCX, UCC, like really bad interface in terms of on the agent side, on the supervisor side, the Cisco Unified Intelligence Center, ugly, right? But it works. It works really well. And does it have problems? Sometimes, yes. But when you are managing a contact center with thousands of agents, those are the kind of products you want. You don't think about UI, you think more about features and the high availability and robustness and things of that nature, right? So, yes.
I'm going to ask you, Joe. I've asked you at least 3 times the exact same question, but I'm going to ask it again anyway because I still don't know. I've tried Writer's in. I like copy, Closer's copy. It's a good tool, and I'm still kind of Closer's copy. Still making my way through that. You mentioned a strong recommendation for using Writer's in combination with Closer's copy. Now, Closer's copy's already got 2 AIs built into it.
Writer with closest copy. But
Writer's in,
yeah. I would use Writer's Zen. My workflow would be Writer's Zen first, and I use Writer's Zen as more of a keyword explorer to check the volumes.
I'm not Writer's in. No. Writer, not Writer's in.
But no, I'm saying you can use Writer's Zen before Writer, to figure out what you want to write about or what you want the robot to write about before it takes over the world.
Sure,
and then it's either gonna be Writer or Pepper type at this point, Skynet. And then I would go Writer, and Writer, I've had a lot of luck with it spitting out some very good quality content, but it doesn't stretch it long form as much. So then I'll throw it into Closer's copy, and then I will expand upon it, and try to get that going. I know Closer's copy is great, but I feel like the quality compared to Writer or even Pepper type, I think those two have better quality, or Jarvis, better quality content. But Closer's copy is better at long form.
You get paragraphs, or you got phrases, and then you'll copy paste those into Closer's copy, and you'll finish it off
and
that
then
way.
and then you could go crazy and even like a lot of people these days are going. That's why the whole phrase craze is happening. Is they're looking more at research tools rather than the AI tools. And what they'll do is take the research from phrase, even though now it has the AI on top of it, but just take the research from phrase, copy paste some paragraphs from phrase from the research it pulls up for the keyword or topic you want to blog about, and then just put it through a spinner and spin that content and put it out there. That still works better than AI.
You're using a spinner with phrase? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You can use the AI with phrase, but I haven't really gone that far with it yet. The AI is fairly newer. But what I'll do is I'll go through phrase, and I'll get some of the research it pulls up, and then you could copy and paste sections, import sections into phrase, say, right? And then I'll even take that and put it through Spin Rewriter or Quillbot. Quillbot, I think, has a free demo version, and it'll adjust it so it passes through Copyscape for plagiarism. Something that a lot of users need to know is more than half of the internet of what you read is spun content. That's my hot take. Like, I've seen it over and over, and everybody's spinning content. And that Google is trying to crack down on that even more now with the AI
They have to.
and that. Yeah, they have to, because it's a lot of garbage. I mean, with all the location pages, whenever you notice when you Google something and it shows up for your town, but they're in Florida. You said, well, how do they do that? They duplicated their service page for your town, and they just spun the content a little bit, and it passed through Google's into duplicate content. And I think Google's kind of getting tired of that.
Well, it's a business decision, right? So Google, the way these networks work, these platforms work, is Google's a great example. Their true customers, not the advertisers. It's the people who consume the content through search. So they put in a search thing, and then they get a result, whether it's on YouTube or on Gmail, Google, or Gmail. You can do the same in Gmail. So that's their true customer. So when you, the content creator, are harming that experience by creating spun content or too much of it, that's harming the feedback loop for Google. And when you do that, you're harming their profitability. So the same energy that led up to the original Penguin Panda crackdowns, and all the SEOs were crying, "Oh my God, my business is failing," blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same pressure that's leading up to this inevitable slap that's coming from Google this time, and we're probably only 6 months away from it, maybe even closer. It's going to happen very shortly.
Well, they just got finished with the Core Vital update this year, which has totally turned, Ankit, it's turned everything upside down. I have a lot of clients who are saying, when is it going to come back? All our pages went down, and now the ranking is slowly coming back. Now we're saying for this September month is the first month where we have clear runway that you're going to see a lot of your pages start to rank well if they were done correctly.
And if they're good quality,
the quality, the AI, the duplicate content, we're going to see how that works. It might take a hit, so we have to pivot, we have to adjust. But I'm recommending my clients AI content. Use that for tier 1, tier 2 pages. Do not put the AI content on your money site. Don't put something from Writer and Closer's Copy, no matter how great it is. Don't put it on your money site. I just think you might get penalized for it. Use it for your blogs and social media.
The way I see it, Joe, you're absolutely spot on. Okay, so even Google knows there are different type of businesses, different type of websites, right? For a services website, Google's gonna focus super hardcore into brands. If you're not a brand and you're not promoting your brand and you're just coming up with like rank and rent models and you're just building links, I think eventually it's not going to work, because there's not a lot of trust going into it. Okay. I see it personally in my industry is you have to build that EAT, expertise, authority, trust, right, in the service industry.
100%. That's it.
And then as long as your long-term strategy should be focused on building a brand rather than going after short-term gains of keywords, because I see it personally that Google's rewarding brands more than anything else. Okay. So all these AI tools, if you do that, you're actually diluting your brand because you're not authentic. You're not focusing on your own personal stuff. It's more generic stuff because the answer's like that. And Joe's smart because that's something you use on a tier 1, tier 2 sites where you link to your main site, right? And that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
And all this AI content eventually will be duplicate content. All this stuff that we really have to test, I think we were discussing in the group, last week. Everyone using these tools, eventually there's going to be duplicate AI content out there, because writers producing, if I have something on Monet the artist and I produce some AI from Monet and I put it on my painting site, there's probably going to be at least another person in the world on their website that has the same exact copy that I just posted on my site, And Google's going to figure it out, because Google right now has a brain of a 4-year-old, they say, 4 or 5-year-old. And the AI is like right a little bit ahead of it, but Google's catching up. Google's getting smarter. Last year, Google had a brain of a 2-year-old. They say like what it could read, what it could understand. It really is. I mean, we joke it's Skynet. It understands.
it
It's
is.
becoming aware.
It's the first real AI. It's the first general AI that we're going to have
Yeah,
will be Google.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure of it. Or
We
Tesla.
need
It'll be the
Arnold
Tesla one all the time.
Schwarzenegger.
So good point that you were making, Ankit, and I want to pick up on that. You're talking about brands, and I think that if we chunk out to a more meta concept of what the brand is, it's an entity that has a unique way of seeing the world and has a unique voice. And I believe, and as Joe was saying about the AI having a brain of a 4-year-old, next year is going to be a 12-year-old, and it's going to be self-aware, and it's going to take over the world and start killing humanity. But before
I'm going
that,
to Neilish's house. I'm going to Toronto. I'm going to hide up there.
yeah. But before that, it's gonna start. I believe that Google already knows the voice of those brands. It knows the voice of those brands, and it will start attributing authority to that voice, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is why it's so super important that as a brand that if you're a person and you want to become an authority, you keep writing under that pen name. You create awesome quality content for your audience. Google's gonna reward that. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But this noise I use these AI tools a little bit differently from what most people do. When people are using these AI tools, they want to generate long form content. They want to get their content ranked. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in using the AI to generate ideas that I couldn't think of myself. That's the way I'm kind of using it. And also for rewriting. And I tried to get something rewritten in Writer. I was very disappointed. I thought it sounded like somebody whose native English isn't not English had tried to rewrite the passage that I gave it. So I wasn't, from that perspective, I wasn't impressed with. I'm not so impressed with the AI tools, but.
Hey, there is one more AI tool which we have to test now, or maybe not. But there's a comment here from Tina again. I just learned that Groove, as in Groove Funnels, is coming
Don't
out
even
with
mention
an
that.
AI writer to add to
Yeah.
the mammoth dumpster of stuff. Would love
That's
to
a good
feedback on
word,
that.
dumpster. That's the right word, dumpster.
Yeah, I think the only thing which Groove folks sell is Groove to other people, right? I mean,
That's right. An affiliate thing. Right?
yeah, like everybody's selling Groove to everybody else. Like, there's
It's
no
rubbish.
product to sell.
I've never used it. Is it
No, I don't need to
that
use it.
good?
I just
No,
know the
I've never
founder.
used it.
I don't know.
I've never
I
used
just
it.
know who the founder is.
It's on our
Sorry.
it's on our do not buy, do not sell list.
Do not buy.
Really?
Do not mention.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think it's a product which we need to get into any detail. To be honest with you, because yeah, it's not worth it. I mean,
So,
unless somebody has a different opinion here, you can of course free to
Oh,
express
you
it.
can express it.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Ankit,
I think
what
Tina
do
has her
you like Groove
answer.
Funnels?
No, I don't use it, but I think Tina now has her answer because she was asking, did someone buy it? Is anyone using it? So I think she kind of knows now that none of us are using it, and it's definitely not on the buy list.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
Totally
I'd
crashed
try
it.
anything. I'll try it. I haven't tried it.
Joe, there's no video product associated with it, so you're not interested.
Oh, it's not VidGroove. If they come out with VidGroove,
No,
I might test it.
you're in. Yeah.
If they do a vid SEO tool, forget it. You won't see me for a week. I'll be testing that thing 24/7.
Yeah. Venkatesh is right. No two opinions about Groove. Absolutely. I don't think that's a product which could sort of like qualifies into criteria. I think Groove actually they they're really capitalizing on some of the newer folks in the market. I think, and they think, wow, everything is going to be integrated, and there is no real deep dive into features. And there's a whole bunch of apps out there. There's like 25 of them probably, right? And
None of them work properly.
Yeah.
I'm betting. I'll put money on it. The reason why I'm so confident about this rather presumptuous statement is that Mike Filsame, who's the guy behind it, once again, I got nothing personally in Mike Filsame. Don't know him from a bar of cheese. I've just been in this industry for long enough. I used to play in this space with webinars and selling courses and apps and all that kind of stuff. Used to be on Warrior Forum, and then we were on ClickBank. So I've a pretty good history and knowledge of this area. Mike Fulsame's staff, he's a great marketer, don't get me wrong. He's a very clever guy, very sharp, very sharp marketer, very clever guy, very sharp marketer. I wish he would pay that much of attention to actually the products that he launched and made sure that they worked. He wasn't as, what's the word? When you really want something to work properly, quality control wasn't his biggest thing. It never has been, and he's launched product after product like that. Unfortunately, and he's had some massive affiliate backing behind what he's done over the years. So just as an FYI, that's all. That's all from me, from Crew Funnels.
Yeah, and every time you go to their lifetime, like you get an email, and it's like, hey, where are they? So this is this time we are really closing the the lifetime deal. I was like, this time we're closing that's in your copy. So what happened like the last time when you had really closing off the lifetime deal, right? But I'm sure they're going to receive a lot of requests to extend it, and they're going to keep on extending it. So don't worry, don't buy. I think it's going to be one of those tools which like a lot of people will end up with. And right,
I'm going to print up. I'm going to make up a maybe Joe can help me with this. I'm going to make up a poster that has Groove Funnels on it. I'm going to put it on my wall and then use it as a dartboard. It'll be our villain, our poster boy villain. That we.
Oh, that's great. My wife will ask me, "What are you doing this weekend, honey?" I'm helping win. We're making a dartboard. This is very important work. We're serious over here in the SaaS.
You need your rest. No. I'm going to create this dartboard.
I gotta help win with this dartboard. What about that oil painting you're working on? The commission? No. Dartboard first. Dartboard first.
This is real art. This is real
art.
Yeah.
Spinwriter, is it any good?
Yeah, it's I don't know if anybody else has used it. Ankit, have you used it? I like it. It's decent.
Is there anything out like Word Tune? What's that one that copy AI or copyright? The one that rephrases your words. I just think that tool is amazing. It really is. Get your grammar right.
Quillbot is the best one that I've used. There's a few of them. Quillbot, Spin Rewriter. There was the LTD a couple of years ago I picked up. That was one of the early ones, and they all work pretty well. But if you go to Quillbot, they have a nice rewriter. But there's again, we can research. I see them in all the Facebook groups. There's so many of these spinner tools out there. The more the merrier. If anybody knows in the comments, please post if you know of any rewriter tools you've been using, because that's the way to go. If you're your lower tier content, you got to spin your stuff, because unless you want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on writers writing everything out for you, for backlinks, it's you need a rewriter.
Can I change tech real quick? Can we talk about a different type of LTD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Briefly. Okay, so I've had I'm having more and more meetings with this data analytics stuff that I'm doing with people, and it's highly annoying when the Zoom finishes at 40 minutes, whatever it is. I just refuse to upgrade to the subscription.
They stop you at 40 minutes because they usually let you go over.
No, if you got 3 people, 2 people is unlimited, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. As soon as you bring a third person on, the timer starts, and then it starts telling everybody you're a cheap bastard. You got to upgrade. This guy hasn't upgraded. It's going to finish.
They were good last year.
I can give you a WebEx account.
Last year they were letting you go over. During COVID, they were really letting you.
Yeah. I can give you a WebEx account. Win.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
I get we get WebEx Enterprise for free. We are a Cisco partner. I can give it to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, thank you, Neilish. I really appreciate that. I'd love to try it. But the reason I mentioned it is I think after our Consulto interview the other night, I was really genuinely impressed. I love the look of the product and what they're doing. What do you guys think about that? Because I was thinking, well, I was thinking about moving to Consulto from Zoom. Do you think that, given that you're going to give me a free WebEx thing, Neilish, do you think that's still a good move, or should I just stay with WebEx?
No, WebEx is great. WebEx is an enterprise class meeting platform. I mean, of course, UI, of course, it's not the best UI, but the meeting works and everything will work for sure. And you'll have lots of different options to call in from different countries, and
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, that's me. I'm doing WebEx.
When it'll replace your Zoom. Actually, Nilesh is right. A lot of schools use it as well. I was surprised because when I used WebEx earlier, it was like super old UI and everything. But
yeah,
in the recent years, I think they've put in a lot of dev work. They know the space is getting bigger, and schools use it. So when I think you
Wow.
should get Nilesh's offer more than the
Yeah,
consultant one.
man.
yeah.
That's
The
us.
users in the
Thank you.
comments are saying how
You,
great
you know
WebEx
why
is.
WebEx is so robust? It's the same developer.
Oh,
It's the same
oh,
founder of Zoom who developed WebEx, right? He sold it
mm,
to Cisco, and then he worked for Cisco for a few years, and then he kept on saying that we need to make some massive changes. And
yeah,
of course, Cisco's business units are so big. If you go to San Jose, they have like a whole campus. Nobody would,
yeah,
of course, And then eventually he left. He formed another company, and that's Zoom, right? So he's the same guy, founder of Zoom, developed WebEx and sold it to Cisco. Yeah, it's a very robust tool. Yeah.
yeah. Amazing, amazing.
Anyway,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
One thing still irks me is the guy featured in the Adilo marketing video. It felt to me like he owns Groove. That's a comment from Ruhani.
I did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Dillo took a lot of heat.
Oh, that's
You
not.
know,
Oh, and Philip is saying, I'm counting who's drinking more beers. Joe is losing so far.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I'm winning.
this is my fifth beer.
Hi.
Where is?
Oh, yes, you're winning. I'm definitely still.
No, I'm kidding. This is my first beer. That's joking. Yeah, I will be like
Joe's
that
reply is
guy.
awesome though.
I will be like that guy in Joe's Simpsons meme. The corner.
the guy at the end of the bar.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, on the second beer, I'll be like that. So no, one is good for me. Uh, okay, I have gasoline in my mug. That's funny.
Yeah, because I said you don't know what's in my mug.
Yeah, Venkateshwara debate, ClickFunnels, Kartra. I keep customers. They buy and come back running to their subscriptions. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure who is
Yeah.
more happy, but we have some infiltration of Groove people in our group. So no offense to them. I think there are a few who have been trying to post affiliate links, but we, blocked them. But anyway, uh,
We blocked them.
it's
It's an
over.
instant ban. It's like you can't mention group funnels in our group. No.
My question is, what does their support team looks like? I wouldn't want to be the tech support or developer behind this. Behind Groove? Yeah, definitely not. Because I mean, imagine the number of applications you got to support. And
Honestly, man, it's soul destroying.
if you Google their address, it's like a mall somewhere, like in. I'm not sure exactly, but if you Google their address, it will show you like a mall or something in the states. I'm not sure if it's in Texas or Florida or somewhere. But anyway, um,
Groove Mall.
yeah, WebEx is
All
gold
right.
standard. Absolutely, I agree. WebEx is really good, Venkatesh.
Mm.
And Cisco knows things about things before we know about things. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the stuff they have, like, it's just like, wow. Like their contact center, like it's like so antique. Like the whole the platform which we work on, like it's completely like really really bad interface, right? But it works. It works like and people just use it. So
Yeah.
okay, Groove Mall. Okay, yes, most likely. Yeah, I think they're gonna soon be going into offline shopping with Groove Malls, possibly. So yeah.
Nilesh, let me add something. Okay, so as I mean, we're transitioning into different topics. I think some of the things that people are really looking forward to is the AI comparison. But I think going through the group and comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but something I do really see is, whenever marketers, I mean, we want to promote our brand or product, but I see a clear lack in or gap in understanding the overall strategy, even in terms of a customer journey. So I think it's a
Mm,
session that I would like to do in the group so that people know you need
good
to
idea.
think in terms of a journey, because I think
No,
it gives
no,
you an overall idea, right? Yeah.
love that. I love that, Ankit.
Great
You and I
idea.
talk the same language. Are you do you follow Ash Maurya's stuff? I don't know how to say his name, but I think that's how you say it.
No,
We're
I've
buying
not heard
books.
of him. Yeah. Sorry,
Dude,
Joe. Go ahead.
please go read. I'd say this. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this book at least 3 times an episode, but I'll say it again. Jason's laughing at me because he knows I'm like an Ash Maria basher. I go around with my book and just bash it over
You're an
people's heads.
affiliate. You're an affiliate.
Yeah, I'm actually Ash
Joe,
Maria.
You are, aren't you?
Joe,
Jason,
I'm
right?
telling you, I can't read books as quick as Win is making me buy books.
That's
I
right.
I
read
have to buy
comic
a new
books.
bookshelf.
Hey, talking
Jason, I
of
read
books,
I read
isn't
comic
there,
books and cartoons with books with big letters. I'll read that.
Jason? There is a LTD which just might be for you. Isn't there a
I
new
saw it. Yeah,
summary LTD? Like, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I
read it
want
for
that.
me or
Oh
something.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you think of
I
that?
think
Inkspell.
Win's a shareholder.
Inkspell.
Yeah.
Okay, Ankit, seriously. Ash Maria, if you haven't read Scaling Lean, it's the second book in the series. He's got a whole course out there. He's got a free course as well, which I do recommend that people do because it's really quite neat. It goes along with Scaling Lean. So you do Scaling Lean, go to his site called Lean Stack, I think,
yeah.
whatever it is. Just Google it, and then you do the free course, and then he tries to upsell you to other stuff, which some of it's good. I've done most of his courses, not in the last couple of years, but I have done a lot of them. But it comes down to what you just talking about, which is customer journey. Really, what that comes down to is customer value. What the journey about the customer having some kind of problem or desire that's unmet, and then
Yeah.
going through that journey to get that value fulfilled. And I'm hugely passionate about this, especially when it comes to marketing, because often when we go to do search engine optimization or advertising or whatever, or social
Yeah.
media, those are all an attempt to address the issue that businesses have, which they want to grow, right? But often the issue is not marketing. Yes, marketing definitely helps. Marketing amplifies everything.
Yeah.
But if you got something fundamentally broken in what you say, the customer journey, which is actually a manifestation of the customer being able to get value, then your marketing is not going to do a lot of good. Yes, you'll get customers, but you'll lose them as fast as you're getting them, and you wonder why you're not able to keep those customers. Or if they do buy a few, why are they not doing a repeat purchase? Why are they not buying the second and third product, right? And then why are they
Yeah.
leaving kind of like somewhat meh kind of reviews for you on those platforms? Something I'm hugely passionate about, and I'm always eager to hear what other people have to say on this topic. Eager. I'm so curious about this one area, given that I came to this kind of epiphany after being the guy who knew every trick in the book when it came to SEO. That's why I don't do a lot of SEO these days, or funnels, or a lot of that stuff, because I just know from a lot of experience and having failed a lot that oftentimes, yes, as the provider, you can get people traffic, but often you can't get them the result. And I just know this from being a consultant, a marketing consultant who used to get paid quite well to do this kind of stuff. That I got frustrated that I was unable to get the growth in the business that the business was looking for, right? Even though I was able to get them way more traffic, way more leads, way more opt-ins, and still yet their business was still floundering. And what it came down to was the owners of that business or the business itself was unwilling to look at different ways of creating value for their customers, right? They weren't open to new suggestions. They were too set in their ways. So when you talk about customer journey, I love that. Anytime someone talks about customer journey or creating value, yeah, I'm all ears. Anyway, there you go. That's my soapbox moment again. Thank Jason.
No problem. Yeah, I think that's something a lot of people don't understand or see their marketing campaigns in terms of, and I think it's something that if we provide, it'll save people time and resources instead of always chasing a guru and their ideology. I think people should just self-assess their own business and customers, and then take part in activities that's gonna help them. You know.
Yeah, that's true about the gurus. You don't want to follow. You follow a guru, or as an artist, you follow a great art teacher, say an artist. You will pick up their bad habits, and you won't think for yourself. You'll just be funneled into what that person, teaches you. I've learned from many art instructors. I've learned from many SEOs, and I've taken what I like from each of them and tried to think for myself, and then go that way. Jason, I know we've been talking about SEO, and you're starting out on your journey, and I try to give you feedback, but I think that you will evolve into the SEO for your niche, for athletics, as a coaching on the coaches. You're going to focus on that to begin with, and you're going to get very good at that very quickly. And I'm going to start asking you for help if I have a client in that niche. So I think everybody needs to understand their journey, and don't just go by the SEO playbook, which I have, and we've discussed here. We can go over again in the future. There is a playbook, but you have to remember the user, who you're shooting for. And sometimes the best SEO is not doing SEO at all, and just creating your content. I am in the SEO business,
helping them, right?
Just help them. And you'd be surprised, that page that you didn't run through an optimizer, you didn't use an AI tool, you didn't use any tools, you just wrote from the heart. That blog post will probably do better than half the other posts you ran through every other tool you're spending $1,000 on a month. And I think that's what people are forgetting, especially in the LTD community. We're all looking for tools to do the work for us. We have to do the work. If you really care about the user, do the work, put in the work, and you'll see results. Google knows. Google will give you a return on that value of spending a week writing an article, rather than, sure, you could rank that article ran through AI in one day.
I'm right behind you. The tools are really valuable, but probably not how people think they are. The tools are tremendously valuable when they augment a truly well thought. Okay, here's something. Like, you go into any situation, like if you're a marketer, you go into a situation, things aren't working so well, the business wants to grow. The best thing you can do is not worry about the tools and all of that kind of stuff, but it's to use your senses. What can you see? What can you smell? What can you taste? What do you hear? What are the employees saying to each other? Like, just listen to what they're saying on the phone to people who call. Now, if they're really rude, well, there's your first sign. Something's wrong in that business, right? If people are backstabbing each other and pulling each other down in the business, dude, that's another problem. Like, they're unhappy in their job, right? So you're using your senses to figure out what's going on, and you have far more success than if you go, oh, well, I've got to use SEMrush, or I've got to use this tool, I've got to use that tool. Yes, the tools are tremendously valuable, but not exactly how you think.
Well, Ankit, I don't know if you know, or from your experience with working with your clients, but when we get a new client in, or you want to audit the website, we try to look for what's working on their website already before they've gotten the SEO part of it done. And then we see that they have some traffic going there. The page is very well written. And then we try to target it and try to build backlinks to it and then go from there. And then we create our other pages. So the user, even if they haven't optimized their website, whoever it is, the user, the money site,
The client.
they already have something of value on their website and they don't even know it. Jason, you might have something on your website and you didn't run it through your tools yet and all that and optimized it. And we would look at your site and say, oh, your soccer coaching website. Wow, this page is like on page 3 right now on Google for this keyword. We just got to give it a little nudge. We as an SEO agency, we don't go in right away and say, oh, we got to break this all down and rebuild it. We try to see what's working for you already and push it, and then we'll build other pages. But most people don't know it, but they already probably have good content on their website and they don't even know anything about SEO. They just need a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of keyword sprinkling, and backlinks, social media shares, and push that page up.
True.
So we have a comment here from Hari Kundru. Is saying he's the founder of Zoptics and was wondering if you'd be open to giving him some feedback.
Sure. Let's have a look. I'm on the site now, actually. I typed it in and I'm having a look at it. Looks pretty neat. It actually looks quite a really well designed. From an artistic point of view, it looks really cool. Is this the 4D like virtual trips? Is that his site? Zoptics.com?
Are you on the right side?
I think so. I hope so. Did you post the link there?
Oh yeah, it is a virtual thing. Yes, it is a virtual field trip. Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. Yeah. So you are on the right side.
It looks really cool. I don't know what it does, but it looks cool. Lifetime deal. I see. You got a lifetime deal. Okay, makes sense.
I mean, the first thing I'd say is it's a completely unique business, right? The business itself, I'm not sure if it's not a normal marketing tool or an SEO tool that everyone would be using. So it's got its own niche, right? That's the first comment I'd give. So I think it depends on who's gonna be buying it more than anything else. It's not your everyday tool, right? It looks like somewhat education focused, somewhat like more
experience focused. If you want to give an experience,
yeah. I mean, that's a very valid point, right? Because AppSumo Marketplace, it is such that most of the users are business focused. So yes, maybe they'll pick it up for their kids, for sure, folks here. So, but the fact is, I mean, this application actually might have an audience much bigger outside of AppSumo, of course, like any other tool. But especially for this one, it seems like you have a massive audience here, right? So that's the first thing.
I have a suggestion. So I love it, by the way. It looks great. I'm trying to teach my kids how to code, right? Oh, actually, I'm not trying to. I'm actually teaching my kids how to code. There's Teddy Bear. Joe's turned into a teddy bear again. Like I'm going to give this little tip away, and it's probably I'm harming myself here. I reckon there's a massive business, and why I say this is because I see that a big part of your, you got kinder care and other kids kind of things here in your social proof. I'm guessing that's part of your earlier adopters, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Aquariums and all that kind of stuff. Here's something I reckon you can kind of like test me on this. I'm pretty good at my future trend kind of stuff. I reckon there's a massive call for for a market for kids creating adaptiveness, right? So when I say adaptiveness, I mean teaching kids how to budget, how to take care of themselves, how to cook, how to budget, how to create goals, how to so anyway, so one of the things I'm doing along the lines of adaptivity, I'm saying to my son, he's really logical and good at picking up logical things. I said, you need to learn how to code. Much like my father said to me when I was a kid, we didn't have coding. He said, you need to learn how to be a fitter, so that if you need a job, you can go make some money, you know, if you're unemployed. And so I'm saying to my son, you know, if you need a job, even if you don't enjoy it, you're good at it, be a coder, learn how to code. He's 10 years old and he's picking things up like this. So I'm teaching him in Python. I code in JavaScript, but I'm teaching in Python. And I reckon there's a market for something like this where you could give immersive experiences. Because the problem with teaching Python off a website or off a book, kids don't learn like that. They learn experientially. They learn from someone kind of being there. You know, we talked about the modalities. Remember that, Jason? We talked about kinesthetic and visual and auditory and all that kind of stuff. Kids are like that. They're very much into moving. If you've ever been around a kid, I've got kids. Sometimes they drive you nuts. But, you know, you're trying to talk with another adult and they're there jumping up and down, trying to put their head in your dinner plate whilst you're having a conversation with another adult. Highly annoying, but that's just how kids are, right? I mean, I adore my kids, actually. But that's just the kind of stuff they do. And this is kind of how they learn. They learn by moving. They learn by being immersed in the modalities. I reckon a product like this, because you're already targeting kids, you know, if you cross it over with some of the stuff that's happening right now with coding, with artificial intelligence, with battery technology, with, you know, self-driving cars, there's all of the stuff that's like these trends are like actually changing the world as we see it right now. You take technology like what is it, Zoptics, and you know, how can you not just give aquarium experiences and zoo experiences, but how can you give learning experiences where kids are picking up these next generation adaptive skills? You know. Anyway, hey, that's another kind of like straight off the cuff kind of idea.
Win, I think first of all that's really valuable. I think it's so important. As someone who works in the kind of sports industry, we're losing more and more kids to the digital world. They're spending more time on devices than they are playing sports.
Very
so
true.
The reality is, how can any industry, and Hari with your product of Zoptics, how can you make sure that device interaction is beneficial and educational and purposeful? So I think it's really important. It's a huge part to play in the growth of children now. So the one thing I would say is, with your product there, and like Win, I just spent a little bit of time on your website there. With any child interaction or journey, how can you make it age specific? Because what a 6-year-old is not what a 9-year-old wants, and what a 9-year-old is not what a 12-year-old wants. So to have, going back to Ankit, and by the way, nice to meet you, Ankit, as well, by the way. We've not said hello on screen yet, so just want to be respectful to you. Great to share this space
Ankit,
with you.
Yeah, we've been friends for a while here on Facebook. I mean, the first time I met you, I think.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
also, I love soccer, by the way.
We can geek over that for sure. So my thing, Hari, for you and the Zoptics is, when, like Ankit mentioned about the customer journey, you know, I would be intrigued to know what your customer journey is for your 5-year-olds, to make sure they're still in your pipeline at 15. So I think we live in a day.
I love that, Jason.
Yeah.
They teach them cooking, teach them budgeting, have an app, help them gamify that, so you can get rewards. So, you know, my kids, they spend far too much time on digital. I'm trying to stop them from playing so much games. I want them to do something useful, become adaptive in life. You want them to be adaptive, well-adapted individuals, not just like for jobs, but for socially, so they get on with their cousins and their mum and dad and their brothers and their friends, and you know, just being good people, basically.
Huge.
But do you imagine, I don't know how this works, but how can you tie in something like this, you know, so that you, like you say, Jason, and Ankit's already said, you know, customer journey, how can you get these guys on board at a young age, 8, 10, 5, whatever it is, I think a little bit older than 5 maybe, create that relationship, make it addictive, and provide lots of opportunities for them to step through one 4D virtual experience after another. I think this is where it's going, you know, the whole Ready Player One. Love that movie. I watched it probably 10 times. That's one of my favorite movies.
That's a great movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think, Win, you make another good point, really. And I think the key with any product like this, when it involves children, is you have to educate the parents. And I think parents are very frightened of time on devices. And we know, like with Apple a few years ago, they done the screen time data and all that stuff. So if you can, Hari, if you can show the parents that this screen time is going to be educational, beneficial, it's going to actually enhance the lives and the skill sets and the opportunity in life for these kids. I think you get the parents on board with what you're doing. I think if to the parents of the filtering system, get the parents on board, and then this could be, as big as you want it to be.
I'll tell you how you could tie that into the parents thing. So to get the parents buy-in, so the parents are perpetually worried about their kids damaging their brains, right? The too much time in digital, there's lots of studies that show that too much time in digital affects your brains, it affects your adaptability, it affects everything. Like it totally screws you up. So you go, okay, let's turn this around. How can we use digital, whether it's 4D, sorry, I've forgotten the name again, whether it's the 4D experiences and all of that, or whether it's a phone or a tablet, how can you use that to actually enhance the adaptiveness of the individual? And I have an idea. If you were able to tie it to their behaviors, so you said, okay, I want you to do your homework. I want you to go out and do your chores. I want you to be helpful to your auntie and help, your brothers and sisters with this stuff. And every time I see this stuff, you're going to get rewarded. There's going to be some stuff. If I don't have to ask you to tidy up your room and pick up your toys and clean your bed and do the dishes and all that kind of stuff, then if I don't have to do that, then here's a bonus, and that's going to go into your thing, and that's going to help me to, and so what you create is this feedback loop where their behaviors start tying into their ability to unlock rewards in the 4D virtual thingy, whatever, And let's say that if I go and learn code, I'm just using coding because I'm teaching my son how to code. If you learn coding, you can do more of that. But what you can't do is, I've actually, with my kids, I've set them down. I said, there's two types of digital, okay? I'm going to broadly say that there's junk food, that's watching YouTube, especially those idiots that go, hey, look at here, I'm on Minecraft. Oh my God, dude, these guys sound like retards. I just want to punch them in the face. Honestly, I really do. So there's junk food. And my daughter's vision of that is watching the girly, catty drama things, just like nasty to each other. I just hate that stuff. So that's junk food. But then you got like stuff that's actually helping you to learn stuff. And especially when it's skill based. If I'm learning a skill that's helping me to become adaptive, that's useful, right? And to me as a parent, I'm more heartened by that. I'm more open to that kind of digital time than I am to the junk food. So I kind of split into that, and I go, okay, well, this is how much junk food you get a day. I'm aware that we all want a bit of junk food. We all drink a bit of beer and eat candy and whatever. I love candy, by the way. I love that stuff. I'm addicted to
what kind of candy?
worms.
What are you're more chocolate or more Skittles?
I love Skittles. I love Hershey's. I love chocolate. I love it all. But my favorite is
gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Love gummy bears, but sour worms are my favorite.
Life hack.
Let me add something to the
another life hack
question.
is Sour Patch Kids with gummy worms.
Absolutely, 100%. There you go.
All right, guys. Let me kind of give my views on his question, okay? Because he asked, how would you market this product?
Yeah.
Sure. Again, everything comes down to customer journey, right? There's two type of people. First is they are actively searching for this type of product. The other type of people is they might have a need and they do not know that this product exists. Okay, so with influencer marketing affiliates, you're reaching out to people who might be interested, right? And if your content is pretty nice, then you're driving people with intent. Okay, I think your objective right now is to increase brand awareness because your brand is super new, right? So working with influencers, one of the best ways to go about it. They will explain how to use the tool, how it actually helps, so your brand messaging can be communicated through that, right? But in the meantime, as well, work with your affiliates should actually write article for you as well, because if you want your domain to rank, then they're going to write about your tool, your article. They're going to link it, so that's going to help your domain as well. That's another aspect, right? So I would say on the get-go, if you have decent budget, start with smaller influencers. Make them showcase how your product is used, and then especially in that target audience, if it's parenting, then a lot of people are looking at other parents to get ideas, in how to raise a kid properly or not. And then that's something that works in today's day and age.
Very cool, Ankit. If you need a marketing agency, you should talk to Ankit for sure. Maybe
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So hold on, can I
Jason,
just
go on.
address a little thing? Oh, sorry. Go, Jason. You first. Oh, okay. I'll go quickly. I saw Hari's talked about he's running Facebook ads. He's getting a 4x ROAS, which is pretty good. We really want more higher than that, honestly. Maybe 5 to 10 is better, but you can live on 4x. My question to you is: you're not able to scale on 4x. What's the issue? What's going on? So you're getting a 4x thing. 4x ROAS. So ROAS is kind of like a ROI for those people who are listening. It's kind of a measurement of ROI, return on ad spend. My question is, when you're calculating your ROAS, are you also doing a calculation on customer lifetime value? I was going to say journey. You've kind of baked that into my brain, Ankit. At the same time, ROAS is important from an advertising perspective, but CLTV is more important. What's the lifetime value of that person that you're attracting? And there's a product that Nilesh and I spoke to the founders of Guyana. I woke up at 3:00 in the morning because I felt it was such an important discussion to be having. I'm not using Guyana to hand on heart, but if I wasn't using Google Cloud and BigQuery and all that kind of stuff, I 100% would be buying at least one license. Why? Why should you be buying at least one license of Guyana? Because you have to understand what your customer lifetime value of your customers are. What content are they interacting with? How does that affect their propensity to become a lead? What's the propensity of that lead to become a customer? What's the propensity of that customer to become a repeat customer? What's the propensity of that repeat customer to become an affiliate and an advocate for your brand? You got to know all that stuff. This is all customer lifetime value questioning, right? So your product, so you go, okay, I've got 4x ROAS on your ads. That's cool. That's a good place to start. That's great. But why is your business not scaling? Okay. So there's a few questions around that. Ankit's already talked about customer lifetime journey, which is massively, massively valuable conversation to be having. And by the way, if everyone who comes on this podcast, they get indoctrinated with the book Scaling Lean by Ash Maurya. So read that book.
In every episode.
Every doesn't matter what it's about. It could be about gummy bears.
Did he sponsor? We need a sponsor. Let's get him on the show. A little banner.
Jason.
Rent that space.
Jason.
Jason, your turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, first of all, like, for Hari, well done for coming on and asking the question, by the way, because when you've got people like this that, we've got people that know their stuff, well done for coming on and being vulnerable and putting it out there. So well done for that.
100%.
The only other thing I'll say, which I don't have the answer to, but I find it hugely, hugely interesting. I'm very curious about it, because in my industry, I have parents coming to me talking about the challenge of devices. The interesting thing, and I know Joe laughs about and talks about Skynet, but I think we have a duty to the kids that Wynn's already alluded to, that we have to teach them about devices and about the world, the digital world, because it's the future they're going to move into. So if your product really helps that in the way that Wynn was talking about, I think you're doing a huge... I think there's an educational piece for parents, because they're so frightened of devices and screen time and all that stuff. But these kids are going to grow up into a world that is going to be Skynet, and they need to be able to live in that world. So I think what you're doing, and if you're going in that direction to help educate kids how to live in a world and maximize the opportunity whilst using these devices, I think it's going to be essential. And I think if parents can understand that, I think you're going to be holding the hands of those parents to take their kids into that world. So huge, and I don't know the answers, but I'm on one side of the conundrum, whereas we're seeing less kids taking exercise and being active. But equally, I think they're growing up into a world that is very digital. So I'll be intrigued to know where you go with this.
Yeah, Jason, it's not just that, the digital, but with last year COVID, I have I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they've grown up being home a lot because we, in New York, we were nervous. My wife, myself, where do we go with them? We've been back and forth. We've gone out to some events. We've stayed home. My 2-year-old doesn't know a world. Actually, my 4-year-old too, a world without wearing a mask. And so they know the digital world. I want Leah. She's the 4-year-old. She loves soccer. We play in the backyard. And I want her to, she's starting preschool next week. It's exciting times. She's going to interact with kids and get out there. But what I've noticed is she knows, and her generation, they know the iPad, the iPhone. It's scary. I never thought I would have a child 4 years old that knows how to operate an iPhone and iPad. Because as a teacher, a part-time teacher myself, I teach 5-year-olds to 18-year-olds art. I see what it does to them, how they're addicted to the digital, just, hooked on that. And they're not into the art or the sports, and it has their attention. Because when we were kids, most of us, right, we growing up, we had the channel, the TV, and the parents would control the TV. Now the kids have a TV in their lap and they control it all. And while what I've noticed from the kids I've taught, their intelligence level is so high. Kids these days know more, I think, than we know, because the internet is at their fingertips from like age 4, 5, 6, 7. But their social skills are not as good. They don't know how to go out and interact. When my 4-year-old meets a kid, we went to the beach last weekend. She went up to every child in the water from ages 4, her age, to 18. And she's like, "Hi, I'm Leah. Hi, I'm Leah. I want to be your friend." She doesn't know. You don't talk to everybody. Be strangers, don't want to be bothered. But she was so stimulated socially because the digital stimulation that we were used to is so normal for her, and that's something we have to think about. This new generation, we have to like tap into it and just continue them on their path. Are they going to be a soccer player? Are they going to get into, LTDs, stay away, or go into something else, arts, creative, it's a lot of options.
So I agree with your what you said in the comments there, Ankit, about the Facebook ads may not necessarily be the best channel. So you want to talk about that? I think that's really valuable advice. Great advice.
Yeah, I mean, when coming back to our previous conversation again, people have this, not everyone, and a lot of people have this perception that I do this, it'll work. But again, the whole part of discussion on customer journey was to figure out from a broader perspective, to try to understand your audience and see how many touch points you can get to increase awareness for your brand or product with them, right? So Facebook is one channel. And I don't know if it's going to be the most cost effective or not, but there are so many other channels, and you need to think from that overall perspective.
Yeah, you need to think broader. I mean, Facebook and YouTube ads are the two main ones that people are going to be using when you're generating, traffic on demand. To be honest with you, you're going to have a better time with. Okay, so a business to business audience, business to business. Okay, this is an FYI for you guys. Both Facebook and Google and YouTube ads work extremely well. So does Google. So does Google Display Media. So does native ads. So these are all different traffic sources. You can make them all work for pretty much any business, including including business or kids or whatever. But there's an appropriateness of it. So if you're trying to attract a business audience, believe it or not, B2B, Facebook ads are going to be better for you, slightly better for you than YouTube ads. If you're trying to attract kids, if you're trying to attract in customers, if you're trying to do that kind of thing, you're going to, believe it or not, you're probably going to have a slightly better time of it with YouTube. Now, this is especially true with the whole iOS thing, and I'm seeing this because I'm in different people's accounts. YouTube at this point in juncture in time, from a business to customer audience, you're a business to customer audience because you're trying to attract kids and kids' parents. You probably have a better time of it with YouTube. Why YouTube? YouTube is, we've talked about this before, with the modalities, with kinesthetic, visual, auditory. It hits most of the primal modalities that we are used to as humans, but also the attribution. Google's got better attribution than Facebook with the broken tracking with iOS. Google has Google Analytics. They got Google Analytics 4. They got Google Tag Manager. They just got far better depth with the whole machine learning thing. They can attribute things even when they don't have all that data. So I would be looking at YouTube ads as a channel. Also, if you're on Facebook ads and you're having some success, there is a recommendation for you. This is kind of out of left field. There's a guy, for those of you who are interested in Facebook ads. Hari mentioned Ad You Need and Scalify. Great products from what I can tell. I've never used either of them, but I've read a lot of reviews on Facebook. I know that there were some issues with Ad You Need, which is why I never bothered getting it myself.
I had it for a while.
Yeah, I looked at it as an alternative to Magix. For those of you who do a lot of Facebook ads, Magix is supposed to be quite good, but very expensive, especially as you start scaling into the thousands of dollars per month. There's a guy. His name is Charlie T, and his channel is The Facebook Disruptor with Charlie T. That's the group. It's free. You can join. And then he's got a paid subscription. If you like what he says in his free content, which is really, really cool, he shares a number of golden gems. And the way that he advertises, he's one of the few guys, in my opinion, that's actually teaching what's actually working, and not just in Facebook, but in YouTube. See, a lot of people will tell you, oh, you got to use a lot of precise interests, and you got to cross them over and create these, like mishmash of precise interests, and you got to use lookalikes, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to do retargeting, and blah 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 blah. By the time you finish, you may as well be a data scientist. That's what basically they're saying. What Charlie T is saying is that the machine learning behind Facebook and behind Google is far more advanced than you can ever be at doing advertising. And so when you learn to employ that and you understand that, all you really care about is feeding good, clean data. This is why good data piping, and that's what I do, is really, really important. Back to Facebook and Google. And then the emphasis, if your question is specifically around Facebook ads and Google ads, YouTube ads, is around the creative. Once again, I deal with a number of guys that their sole purpose is doing lead generation and advertising and stuff. I'm telling you that 95% of your success in Facebook ads and YouTube ads will come down to you split testing many different angles. The most successful guys on those platforms, and there's an algorithm that you can check out, this research, the number of split tests that you do on your creatives and on your landing pages is directly proportional to your profitability and your ability to scale. If you're not seeing scalability, it's because your ideation is too narrow, and that's not getting you. And that it's too narrow. That's all.
Facebook
that's
ads
mainly
is
what
a
it is.
completely different, another dimension as well. Like Win says, there's so many variables actually. In reality, there's like three major things you need, right? So there's the audience who you show your ad to, your product, what you're offering, and the creative, because that's what gets the attention, right? And these, you do a combination of these. This is already 3 factorial. Now you could have multiple variations of just that, right? So you definitely need all of those testing,
You got to test everything, and you're testing your ideation. Like Ankit said, you got 3 main factors. Those are massive, by the way. What he just said, massive things. And of those, sorry, was that?
No, go on.
Of those 3 things, the product or the solution or the value that you're creating is the most important, not even the creative in your ad. So if the value you're creating is not that good, then even if you get a lead or even if you get somebody to buy it, they're not going to be a lifetime member. So anyway, going back to the ads thing, if we're just talking about ads, you got to test widely, which is why I see there's a real value of tools like what's that tool that came through recently? It enables you to do like just gajillions of different variations. You can put lots of images in there and lots of messages. You got to be testing a lot of different ideas constantly. That's how the most successful guys are doing it.
Win, would you recommend Groove?
This is a test.
I love that tool. I don't know if I've told you, I love that tool. I love that tool.
Hey, Tom Fawcett. He has any suggestions on what to do when you miss the deadline to redeem deals on AppSumo due to ill health or whatever, and the company refuses to honor the purchase? So email AppSumo. Which deal is it, Tom? I hope you're still watching. But which deal is it? I mean, did you forget to redeem it in 2016?
Yeah.
Or did you just forget to redeem like very recently? So it really depends. I mean, maybe we can help you, but let us know. Yes, but if
Yeah,
you email AppSumo, if it's very recent, if you missed it by a few days, a few weeks, it's not it depends really on the developer. Maybe they're going to come back at some stage too. Really depends on who the what the deal is. So okay, well with that, I think Jason, are you going to give us a tour and then we can?
I can give you the tour.
Jeez, we've
Okay.
been 2
I
hours.
just went
Do
and
you
turned the
believe
lights
that?
off.
We've been 2
We have
hours,
a
man. We
tour?
haven't even
I didn't
started
know.
on.
A tour. Nice.
I don't know how Win and Nilis have not hit the restroom, man. I'm pretty surprised.
Yeah, Ankit, thank you. Me and you. I'm like, I gotta go every few seconds.
I had to
They
go
got better
too, yeah.
bladder control LTD.
I finished this big beer. Like I've got
Yeah,
all of that waiting
I
to
want
go.
I want the bladder LTD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I could sit here for another couple of hours, but
I think I have the
Man.
monthly. I have the monthly
Got a
plan
bladder of
for
steel.
the bladder.
Jason's taking us through a dark room. I'm not liking it already.
I know where are we
I've got
going
to turn
here.
the lights back on.
no, very cool.
Yeah,
that
this
is
is nice.
that's fancy. Look at that place. Parquet
There's
floors.
murals on the side.
So this is the
Sports.
coaching area.
Very fancy.
It will be, yeah. Yeah, so it's like a hot air balloon, so it's airtight. So I've just got to go through the revolving doors.
Yeah.
Hey, are you guys in lockdown at the moment, or are you able to walk around and be free?
So this is a full-size indoor
No, it's free.
soccer dome, but it's split
Yeah.
into 4 fields.
Oh, very cool.
So
Wow.
Wowzers! Look at that. It is a hot air balloon.
yeah, hot air's pumped in. Yeah. If anyone opened the route, about an hour and 15 minutes to deflate, so I've got time to get out if need be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, where are you again?
He's in Alberta.
I'm in
Alberta.
yeah. Right in between Calgary and Edmonton, yeah. So this is a rare dome in the sense that it actually incorporates baseball as well. So we've got a state-of-the-art gym, and it doesn't look like state-of-the-art, but we've got some hydraulic air system equipment here that the only other place in North America that has it is NASA. So we've got some pretty mean gym gear. I should actually start using it at some stage. I had some pictures taken of me in training tonight, and then I looked at them and I'm like, wow, I got to hit the gym.
Oh, right.
So yeah, we have baseball as well. So yeah, great facility.
Yeah, looks amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Looks like a big hot air. You're right. You look like you're inside a hot air balloon.
Yeah. You can't see it because it's pitch black outside now, but the ceiling actually is a skylight, but it's dark. It's now nighttime outside, so you can't see it. But that normally lights up as well from the daylight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and when the lights go out in here, it's damn scary as well. I've had to
I'm
I've had to exit out of the fire exit before. Yeah.
You know, it'll make a great set for Scream. You know, like one of those movies where they kill each other.
Don't. Win, I'm the only one left in here. Don't say that.
Horror movie. We're writing your film right now. No, that looks great. Wow, you could have fun. You could punt the American footballs in the air there, and it won't hit the ceiling of the dome.
Say that again, Joe.
You could punt the American football, not the normal football, soccer ball, but like the football players, they punt it and it doesn't hit the top of the dome. It looks like you have a high ceiling there. That wouldn't affect that.
We did try that.
Rugby is what you're talking about, right?
So yeah, well, we actually have a rugby program, and we have an American football program as well. They're not soccer and baseball are the main two sports here, but yeah, they do. And we've had some of the American football teams come in here for their pre-season.
Yeah, because they sometimes they have problems where they hit the scoreboard. The football players will punt it, and they don't realize that the scoreboard is hanging too low or the ceiling's not high enough.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just hits the scoreboard drops down. I think the Dallas Cowboys had that problem when they opened the new stadium. Yeah. So you have high ceilings there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for the walkthrough, Jason.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Jason, for that walkthrough.
That was very cool.
No problem.
We could do that more. I reckon we should do like a Pokemon Go, like do a virtual reality tour through our cities.
Somebody's talking about Voxo for social feeds. Joe, do you have to say anything?
I have no comment about Voxo. Everyone thinks I work for Voxo. I love them. They're like I said, I did a video thing over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if people have seen it, but an auto feed. Voxo, the founders actually added the feature because I was using it myself. They saw that I was using it. I liked it. I was using Inksprout or Genie to summarize my blog articles. And then I was pulling it with Inksprout, and I was copy pasting it into Voxo and spitting it out on social media. And Daryl, great founder, we've had him on here in the past. He was like, "Hey, Joe, I think I could code something up real quick with the development team." And they made an auto feature. So now with any summary tool, Inksprout, etc., you can just import it into Voxo and create a social media post, spread it out, boom, from any article, blog, etc., and get it on your social media feeds. So I really like that too. Sorry,
I talked across you there. Is that like missing letter where you get it to curate your, you can schedule your posts and then have it go out like 1 year and have it go through all your.
It's a little different. I mean, the scheduling tool is a bit different than you would use like a Radar, or there was that new one that just came out too. Social media scheduling tool is a little bit different. The Voxo Inksprout connection is more for the summarizing and then going to video, and then you do it, you schedule it yourself. I know Voxo is working on some integrations with like NextWeave and some other tools.
Dude, we've got to talk about NextWeave.
Yeah, that's another tool. We could use, all these tools, all these LTDs are starting to like overlap and integrate with each other, which makes it fascinating. And then what's good about it is they all, the founders are listening to the community, most of them.
They are.
And
They're really curious.
Like say, hey, I already have NextWeave, I have Voxo. Can we connect the tools?
Joe, we have a follow-up session with Voxo on Wednesday at 11 p.m.
Oh,
on Wednesday.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And you didn't call me about this yet. Oh, I'm so
yeah. So Wednesday, 11 p.m. we are on.
Yeah, because I think Voxo is going off AppSumo this week. This is their last, to get the LTD.
Yeah. So we're gonna do one on Wednesday, 11 p.m. Hopefully. Yeah. I can talk a little bit about new features, use cases as well.
So you're still recommending to use Inksprout with Voxo? Because I've got that on my hit list. I'm going to grab those two.
Yeah, you could go with and people have brought it up. You can do this this integration, this theory, the way my workflow. You could do this with other video tools, but I like the mix of Inksprout, Voxo. It's very simple. Inksprout is a very beautiful tool. Underrated, under the radar. The founder is a great guy. I like I said, invest in the founders. Voxo's founder and Inksprout's founder. There may be better tools out there, but these guys who are running these tools, you're not going to find better. You know, they're very
Okay,
they
I'll get them.
listen to the
Good one.
users, they adjust, they pivot, and they see where it's going. And I think the two I've connected the two founders together, Inksprout and Waxo, and it works seamlessly. You know, I would definitely check it out, test it. You know, could refund it if you don't like it. But it'll make life a lot easier. It's not going to automate your posts for you, your social media posts. You're still going to need a social media tool for that. But to summarize text to video, yeah.
Perfect. Can we talk about NextWeave real quick? What's your thoughts on that? Have you used it? Has anyone you used
Hey,
it?
we're gonna wrap up in 15 minutes. Is that cool? Because if it's
Oh,
a
no, that's
3-hour
exactly
session,
we've got a countdown. Can we put a countdown on there so we just remind ourselves that we're going to actually stop talking?
yeah, it's 13 minutes past 11, so we're gonna stop at 11:30. So
Why, Neelish, you have to leave? You have somewhere to go?
no, I don't have to go anywhere. But if you want to stay on, we can stay on. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Kidding.
2:30 is
Whatever you
good.
guys want.
That's good. We'll talk faster and we'll get through everything that we need to say, and then we'll just like stop.
We'll try. I mean, we could be here for the next 45 minutes, but I'm sure Jason, you
I'll
might
be
want
around.
to
I'll do
go home
an
as
after
well,
party.
right?
We're gonna do an after party. We'll do after show.
How are you guys doing? Okay for time, Ankit, Jason?
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce off soon. I'm gonna make breakfast for my wifey.
Oh yeah. Okay, great.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
There
No,
you go.
I told Jen I was
Cool.
coming on
Appreciate you guys.
LTD Brews. See, Ankit. Yeah,
Thank you, Ankit, for
I
joining.
told Jen that.
Thank you. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all the
See you,
insights
Ankit.
as well.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, Ankit, for your insights. Really neat actually having you on the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. He was great.
Yeah, he's
Top guy,
fantastic.
yeah.
I
Really smart.
yeah, very smart, and he is on our admin team as well. I really enjoy Ankit's.
All you got to do to get in our in crowd is to use the right buzzwords. For me, it's customer lifetime value and lifetime journey. That's it. And Ash Maria. Those are the 3 words that you got to.
That's really
Yeah,
Easy.
I mean, like this is like the 15th time I'm hearing about Ashmore on live stream because it's our 15th episode.
But
Probably.
every time you hear Ash Maria, you do a shot. That's a new rule. We have to do a shot.
I'm one day I'm going to come out and actually reveal that I'm Ash Maria undercover. But
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you
your
are.
alias.
You and Jason know already.
And so this gentleman has missed a few of them. I mean, Tom, like, I'm sorry about your illness. Obviously, you're going to get a question if you're going to be ill, like, how were you buying these deals, right? And all those things. And I mean, I hope you have somehow valid reasons, whatever, right? But apart from that, some of these deals are really old. So Adafarm, OneStream was on LTD very recently, so I'm not sure if you can still somehow redeem it, right? But what you can do is ask AppSumo support, say that hey, if you can make an exception, blah blah blah, and if it doesn't work, then I mean, we can see what we can do, but keep us posted and we'll see what we can help you with redeeming. So for sure, things like Adafarm, OneStream, if so, I mean, if you can redeem them, that would be good. But if you're redeeming all these things, you might also want to see if for some reason, if you have a code and if any of these apps are allowing people who have already redeemed to add more to stack, because some apps leave the stack option open. So you might want to check that, and at least you may be able to sell the codes, right? So see what works. Yeah,
you might be able to tell them in the group. Yeah. Can I just
Go
go
on.
back to Hari's thing, Nilesh? Hari, so I mentioned that 95% of success with Facebook ads is the creative, is the ad, which is a combination of your image or video plus your text and your headline. Definitely check out Marpipe. It's a ad creative testing tool. It's an ideation tool, so you can literally put like 100 images in there and different. You can use something like Writer or Closes Copy or any of the other AI tools that we've used to ideate. There we go. Teddy Bear's back. Ideate and create different variations that you can test very quickly. I really highly recommend that approach. Back to everything else we're talking about. Cool.
Okay.
Marpipe, yes, Marpipe. That's the one. Hari, Marpipe. You've spelled it correctly, and that you should find some licenses for that floating around in the group. It's not on sale at the moment on AppSumo. You'll be able to get it on trial. You'll be able to try it, but I've seen people selling it in the group as well.
There is a new LTD on AppSumo. Surprise.
Surprise.
It's called TunePond, and TunePond basically allows commercial usage of their music, as well as it has music, like it has some Asian music, Indian, like the music from different cultures. So there is an Indian music pack as well. I'm really interested to try it out because somebody has requested me last time to play some Indian music. So I was like, hey, TunePond might be perfect. So, we could do that. And if, yeah, let's see. Let's find out. Oh, there she is. Hello. Hello.
There's
Hello.
Leah.
That's Scarlett, right? No, that's
Um,
Leah.
Just love Joe the
I
Bear.
was guessing.
Joe the Bear's awesome. Topic
Hello.
Mojo, yes, we've checked out Topic Mojo. I actually like Topic Mojo, Hari. It's from it's a very good approximation to answer the public. It's got a lot of the value that answer the public's like $1,000 a year. Hello.
Hello.
Say hi,
Topic
Scarlett.
Mojo is good.
Hi,
I
Scarlett.
recommend it.
Talking about Topic Mojo.
Scarlett,
Scarlett.
Scarlett, stay away from Grove.
Stay away from Grove, okay? You got it? She's all about video tools, AI.
So yes, it should
That's so
adequately.
cute.
I think it should adequately replace answer the public as to answer Hari's question. Hello, you're up late, aren't you?
Yep. She's waiting
Business
for
as
the
usual.
next batch of LTDs to come out tomorrow on AppSumo. She's very excited.
Is that right?
She's waiting for the cartoon ones, Bubble Guppies, Peppa Pig, anything Peppa Pig.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, gosh.
yeah.
I actually like Peppa Pig. I watch it. Still watch it.
She has a British accent because of Peppa Pig.
Oh, really?
Hello. Hello.
Right?
Let's go jump in some puddles, shall we?
She loves muddy puddles. Loves the muddy puddles because of Peppa Pig.
Marpipe has gone crazy with their pricing recently, starting at $1,950 a month. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm so glad I got 3 licenses to that. I'm so glad that I got it. I saw it, and like if you realize, like honestly, because the machine learning is so dominant right now, there's very little that you can do to beat the machine learning, like choosing precise interests and all of that, yada yada yada, that everybody used to say was the thing. No, I'm telling you, don't listen to that guy Wilco de Cryer as he comes up on your feet. Forget about his tool. Dude, just open it up, go broad, choose your gender and age if you want and country, but the machine learning will do a way better job. And then your success will largely depend on the success of your creative, right? And that's why tools like I believe the tools like Marpipe and your ability to rapidly test ideas in what I call a hyperlean way are so much more valuable. And I know that we're drawing in on, we've got 7 minutes left, by the way, guys. 7 minutes, counting down.
I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but we'll see.
Keep
Hey,
it going.
team, how's it going? How are you? I'm glad you joined. Better late than never. So, I'm glad you joined. Who else do we have?
So,
Gene is
Nilesh,
here.
I've got a question.
Yes.
As we all know, I'm quite new to this environment and stuff. At what stage do we start our prayers for Black Friday and bringing back those missed LTDs that we unfortunately either refunded? Is that time coming now? Because I think, do we go through a bit of an LTD lull that builds up to the November Black Friday? What's the process?
Yeah. And I think, you need to sort of like, depending on how much you want to spend, of course, you don't want to spend on tools which you're not going to use it in need. And then thinking, a lot of people, like, what I see is get caught up into, of course, the tools and think that, oh, I'm going to be a blogger and I'm going to do this, right? Like, but yes, I mean, the reality is like, to be a blogger is a very requires a lot of dedication, right? Maybe you're going to write a blog for your business, but if you're going to think of venturing into an entirely different thing, just with the help of a tool, it might not be such a good approach. So again, going back to your question, why I'm saying that is, uh, of course, you are one of the most thoughtful persons in terms of what you buy and how you just don't buy tools for the sake of buying it, right? Like, it's purely either you use them or you don't. I would say there is a lot of more lifetime deals, some ridiculously good offers, which are actually outside of AppSumo and on other tools. So you want to watch out for, especially for things like WordPress. You get there's so many good WordPress plugins, right? And if your site is based on WordPress, not
Yeah, it is, yeah.
necessarily, you want to invest all in the SaaS tools. Of course, you can have an automation or connectors of some sort, but still, you want to have some native functionality into WordPress with the help of some plugins, right? So you want to budget for that, I would say, because you're not going to see those offers again throughout the year. But there's some really good offers which come during Black Friday. The second thing is AppSumo. I mean, like Sumo Day was like their Black Friday as well, but nothing really was there. So maybe you're gonna get like an additional discount, maybe 10% or 20% discount, because you can't really discount it. You can only discount it so much, right? I mean, any further discount means it's free. Basically, the developer will have to give away the license because
Yeah,
AppSumo is still. So I don't think you're gonna expect too much of exciting tools. Maybe some will show up, and even if some past LTDs do show up, right, that's a cause of a concern because any SaaS founder, why would they want to give lifetime license if they are doing so well in terms of their subscription base, right? Once you
That
have
makes me worried.
subscribers, you
Yeah.
never want to come back.
When they come back, that worries me at times. And I've spoken to a few founders, and they are coming back this year with some tools you will be surprised by. Maybe, I don't know, but by the end of the year, nothing is ever. That's it. We're done. We're never coming back. There's a few of
You
them
mentioned it earlier,
that
Joe.
I've been asking, and they
So
said, "Oh, maybe."
yeah, I would say, Jason, you should budget what you're going to spend over like a few months just for Black Friday, specifically around some of the offers around WordPress plugins.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can I can show you, like, what some of the past offers have been and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But other than that, uh, yeah, I mean, it would be like a normal day. I don't think it has to be. I mean, because Sumo Day was like, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing like ridiculously good, I would say.
Yeah. I two things. First of all, like first win, I really appreciate the fact you haven't mentioned N charge as I'm talking about missed LTDs, because you know that cripples me. So thanks for that.
Me and Win love N charge.
Thanks. Yeah. I actually got V-Bout today
Yeah,
to
V-Bout.
test it, but I
Oh, really?
still, yeah, I literally today to test it, because SendFox isn't going to do. SendFox is great for my newsletter, but for what I need it to do going forwards, it's not going to do what a V-Bout or an N charge is. So I have gone down the V-Bout road.
No, V-Bout seems great. Yeah.
Yeah, V-Bout seems good.
Well, again, it's on my agenda this weekend to open it up and have a good look at it and go that way. So, but I do appreciate you not mentioning N charge. I
We
appreciate
gotta
it.
get Jenny on for V-Bout.
I'm actually my plan tomorrow is to go back and watch your interview with the V-Bout owner Nilesh and Win, because I think it's maybe 8 weeks ago that you've done that live. So I'm going to go back and watch that. Win, if you can let Samantha know in the chat that N charge is banned from any mention, because she's mentioned it in the chat. So Samantha's in trouble. Joe, you mentioned something earlier, which I think is really interesting when you talk about returning LTDs. I actually like the fact that, like, Run the World come back, but they come back with corrections to their issues from the first time round. So I do respect that, but I think you're right. Like, it's important to kind of be quite dubious or curious about why they would come back a second time. But in Run the World's case, fair play that they dealt with the scamming, and I think 720p was their limit before, and they've corrected both those. So that's an interesting one when a developer or founder comes back with improvements. Maybe that's them holding their hand up and saying, do you know what, we maybe got it wrong the first time, and we want to rectify that.
Tina, if you're looking at LMSs, just definitely check out Mastera. Me and Jason are digging into that at the moment. And I think Joe was a little bit more swayed by the fact that they had unlimited video hosting and transcoding and muxing. If you don't know what that is, what it means is that your videos will play just like YouTube does. It plays the exact video size and quality at the fastest possible rate through CDN that's needed. And that is really, really expensive. So if you can get that on a tool like Mastera, it's almost worth it just to get it for that.
I'm looking into Mastera. I still have a Cadle, but Mastera looks like a complete package.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm not looking at it for my courses now, but I'm looking at it for a membership with which will primarily be video membership. So I'm really looking forward to diving deep on that one.
Yeah, I'm going long on Mastera just because my wife already has 200 or 300 videos in there, and she has a yoga teachers who teach for her locally. We're in lockdown right now, and so we're already starting to talk about this whole, hey, we've got this platform and you guys can create content and you can do live streaming, and we just take a cut and this is the algorithm that we're going to use to divide up the value, and you guys get most of it. It's a great conversation, and they got a mobile app and they got TV apps. Dude, I think it's pretty cool. We've already done it. Tina, we've already done a live thing on this with the Mastera crew. Me and Nilesh talked to them a few days ago. You can find that on YouTube, or you can find that in the group. Just search for it. You'll see that we've already done that talk. The guy Shabam, he's lovely, and
he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
So I actually brought it the day it came out, but for some weird reason I ended up, and this was my technical issue, is I brought 3 codes of tier 1 when I wanted a tier 3. And the Mastera group and AppSumo, to be fair, they've been brilliant in rectifying it, twisting it, like turning it around and getting it sorted for me. So supports, in my experience this week, support have been excellent, and they've helped with a few other bits and pieces along the way. So really good early experience of helping me come over a couple of hiccups. Really good.
Yeah, neat. That's great. Great feedback. I agree
There
with you,
seems to be a lot of
Harry.
LMS tools coming out.
Yes, sorry, Joe. Just spoke across you there. Carry
Yeah.
on.
Say that again, Joe.
No, there seems to be a lot of LMS tools coming out, overlapping each other. There was that other one right before Mistera, Click for You or CPO. There was another one before that one, and after Mistera, there's gonna be another one.
Yeah,
that one looked pretty good though. GuruCan, Spay, but Mistera, the founder, I really love the interview you guys did with him. He seems to get the concept of what he's focusing on, and he makes sense with the whole numbers, with the limits. People saying, "Oh, it's only this much for subscribers." I want more. But he was like, "If you're going to get 1,000, you're going to be getting good revenue anyway." It made sense.
Yeah.
So with Mastera, what we talked about, right? Based on, so I've been having some additional conversations with Shubham, and basically, if he allows RTMP in, which he's going to allow at some stage, so we'll stream right into Mastera, right?
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, and I said, well, would you be open to adding a live shopping feature, because there were some audiences who would, and he's open to that. So we saw the feature how live shopping works in Be Live, and he's open to doing something like that in Mastera. So I mean, you could create literally like products, provide a link, and sell it through Mastera as well. So I mean, that's something which he's working on. But there's a question here from Tina. Are you guys going to check it out live? Are you talking about Mastera, Tina, or are you talking about something else? But yeah, we can check out Mastera live.
And I've also done a pretty full-on review of it, so you can check that one out as well.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to review the marketing part, but it's pretty solid. I mean, like I think Joe was, you were saying, Joe, there was some concerns with it, and I agree. From a perspective of Joe and I had this,
for sure. It's
Joe
not complete. It's not a complete platform yet.
No, I
it's
think
not.
it's actually very, and I think when I messaged you about Mastera, where I think it is a very close to complete platform, that it makes it so easy that, and I'm not concerned about losing other art teachers in my course. If I have a good product, people will come to my page. Competition, I understand, but the only concern about Mastera is it makes it so easy that once I have people working for me, they see how easy it is to set up Mastera out of the box. They're going to start their own Mastera course. Where when I have an Akadal or a Spay, it takes a little more work, embedding a video, doing this and that. Mastera is so good. It's that good. It's a compliment to the platform.
It is. Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different from saying, okay, you and I, Joe, we're working on a YouTube channel together, and now you see how easy it is to start a YouTube channel and do that, except it's not, right? It's not. It's like there's a lot of work in growing the YouTube channel. You got to grow the network aspect and blah, blah, blah. So, yes, as much as it's easy to go and do that, it's easy to join a platform. It's not easy to grow a platform, right? And once you've got a platform, and the platform is not necessarily the software, the platform is the people connected together in that platform, consuming their content and all of that. So yes, they may be able to go to Jane Doe's Mastera platform, but they'll go there and there'll be crickets because not a lot of work has gone into building up the platform.
But I feel like Mastera is like an all-in-one package. It's like out of the box, ready to go, like a Shopify.
Yes,
the reason I know this is could be as a custom web developer through the years since the 90s. I build websites, and now everybody's building Shopify websites because it's so easy. It's out of the box.
So easy.
And I feel like the founder admitted Mastera is a Shopify for courses.
It is. It's exactly what it is.
Good, but that will make other instructors say, "Hey, I'm working on Joe's art course for the last couple of months. I see how the dashboard is so beautiful and the whole thing is so seamless. Everything is there. The founder, made such a perfect. This is a compliment to Mistera. It's a very excellent LMS tool.
Yeah.
But it's so easy that anybody who's around it for a bit will start their own course right away. And there you go.
Yeah.
You know, skipping.
I think the thing with that, Joe, is I think you're right. I think some will look at it and go, do you know what, I can do this. But actually, the two things that perhaps they can't do is, one, they can't manage the back end of doing the administration and all the follow-up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is, no one's going to market it like you are. They might be able to go in and put programs on, but your audience, your client base and all that stuff, that might be where the value is. I've got someone that's liaising with me right now. He's got I think I mentioned it before, he's got over 1,000 videos on a certain aspect of coaching. He just doesn't have the network, the audience, and so he could in theory do it, but he's going to be starting from scratch with the system, whereas he comes into me.
Yes. This is the opportunity that I'm seeing, and Jason, you've hit it on the head. Like if you, like Jason, you've just said, have connection with these people, and you can pull these people together. So one is good on coaching kids in a certain area. One is good on whatever. So in our yoga thing, my wife has got this neurofeedback approach to healing the body with movement. She just calls it body sense yoga. It's a 3-step method. But we see that there's a lot of crossover with osteopathy, chiropractic, personal training, eating well, you name it. There's like at least 10 or 20 knowledge areas that all overlap into this area of the body, and getting it in tune and getting it to heal itself, because the body is an amazing machine. It can heal itself. Do you know that the body can create any analog to morphine or whatever? If it's experienced the chemical, your body's ability to recognize that chemical and reproduce it and do all the healing effects. This is how the placebo effect works, by the way. Your body is incredibly powerful at being able to do this stuff. And you know this is the problem that drug companies have. You know, when doing double-blind split tests, these double-blind split tests often don't come out anywhere near the placebo, because the placebo effect of the body is so powerful. Anyway, what's exciting to me is now that you got this platform there, it's like delivered on a plate. You can change your role and think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go network with your friend Jason, who's got like 1,000 videos, and they're all excellent. He's just a terrible marketer. I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. He might be a great marketer, but the fact that he hasn't got traction may mean that he's not very good at marketing, but he's awesome at content creation. So I'm going to partner with him. I'm going to bring him on my platform. I'm going to put my content on there, and I'm going to help him to package that stuff up, and we're going to do some kind of revenue share that makes sense. You know, that to me is that's the part that I was saying on the call the other night with the Mistera founder Shabam. That's the part for me, besides the fact that the platform itself is excellent, that part was the most exciting part. I thought, now I can kind of like actually make something out of this.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. I think with that note,
We're done.
Neelish is tired.
No, I'm not tired. We just wanted
busting chops.
You know, I mean, we will have to cut this video into like 4 parts for anybody to actually.
It's like the Godfather saga.
VidStep.
Over. You know,
VidStep can do that for you.
Yeah, VidStep. Yes.
There's gonna be the outtakes and the whole production. You know,
what cracks me up is that you know how people go, I can't imagine doing a podcast for half an hour, and all we have to do is just jump on, grab a beer. Dude, you'll be lucky to stop us at 3 hours.
It's like 2 days, right? We're like 2 days the whole weekend. My wife is upstairs going, "What are you talking about?" Like, you've been down there
Joe,
for hours.
I saw my part. I nipped home for lunch, and I said, "Babe, Nilesh has asked if I can do the LTDs and Brews. Do you mind?" She went, "Do you know what, babe? I know you like that community. If you're not home by 12 o'clock, it's okay." So I've still got another at least 2 hours to play with if you need.
Let's go. We'll go after party. Neelish, I'm sorry, but our spouses all know your name. They all say, "Oh, that Neelish. Oh, you're doing something. We don't know what you're talking about. Are you making money for this?" I said, "I don't know."
We're gonna restrict the live streams to an hour from now on. I'm just kidding.
Good luck.
Yeah. No. I mean, we can continue for a bit for sure if you guys are okay. I mean, I'm okay. It's just
No, let's cap it off. Let's give our guys a break. I mean, we can do it another day, but I mean, we've shot the breeze.
There's more to
We've
come.
covered some good territory.
Yeah. Hey,
this
go
on, Nilesh.
Go, Jason, please.
I was just going to say that this almost 3 hours has just been a teaser. So anyone wants to come for the full episode, you got to be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we open a lot of rabbit holes. We discuss a bunch of topics, and then we say, "Oh, let's go down this way, that way," And everyone in the comments
carry on. I reckon we could have like a sub in, sub out system. We could probably go 24 hours.
Yeah, we could do like a radio station. Yeah. We each have a spot.
A live-a-thon.
Like a 3-hour segment. We do like a radio station.
That's true. We probably could.
I could do a 3 to 5. Nilesh does the afternoon drive, and like a sports radio show.
I know communities where they do a live every single day.
Yeah.
So we could do that, but
we could do every time slot. Everyone could cover a 3-hour shift. I bet.
Done. And I want to do more video, right? Like we want to do more video. We want to build a community where you just can stream in their videos and talk about what they are doing, and doesn't have to be also entirely related to LTD. Could be related to what Jason is doing, right? So you're most welcome to stream, Jason. And then Joe, we can talk about different things. So we want to eventually get there where we can stream multiple times, kind of thing, right? Hey, one thing, Joe, you missed earlier was there is an new LTD on the AppSumo, and it's called Tune Pond. Check it out. They have music from different cultures, and they have it's an interesting one. So I have to see how good their music is.
Yeah.
But it allows commercial usage, and it's clear for monetization for YouTube and Facebook as well. And they've got a massive library. Actually, they're selling it for $69. So do check it out. I think we'll have some new music for the next show. And
nice.
Some more
Croatian music.
Can I mention one more LTD before we cap off?
Of course.
Okay, so I know that we all get bombarded and spammed by cryptocurrency, right? So I'm not telling everyone to go out and do crypto or anything like that, and I've got nothing to sell. I'm not going to suggest a crypto that you should get. There's one on AppSumo called CoinStats, and I'm seriously looking at getting one of these. Actually, I will tell you the one that I'm thinking about getting. So you know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going crazy right now. The issue with those two is that and I got this from my friend, good friend Mahe Foliaki. He educated me on some of this. So I find the whole crypto thing very overwhelming. There's so much information. It just sounds like gobbledygook to me. Honestly, it does. But there's a lot of benefits if you look into crypto. The big problem with crypto, however, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum, is that they very expensive and they're very slow. They don't handle many transactions, right? So there are cryptocurrencies. One of them is Cardano. I've done a bit of researching on it, and I feel that that's one of the ones that the transaction costs are quite low. And this is one of the things that you need for something that's going to take on the likes of Visa and MasterCard. Anyway, as you kind of buy and sell the stuff, you need to get a wallet. Kind of getting on board slowly with all this stuff. You got to get a wallet. There's different wallets out there you can get, and something like CoinStats helps you as well. So that CoinStats is a pretty good tool for helping you to manage all of that. So I'm about to put down a small sum on some crypto soon. So I thought I'd mention that because that is on AppSumo. If that's helpful for anyone, I'm not telling you to get into crypto. I don't know anything about it. Don't ask me about this.
Ronnie's saying I'm planning for a
I know.
Oh, go.
Sorry, what was that, Chase?
I know NFTs, like design animation, that part of it, I could help you. The NFT connection to crypto, that I have, but to sell it,
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
what one we thought about, Joe. We thought about doing LTDs as NFTs.
Yeah, we were talking about it would be great. I mean, they're doing music albums as an NFT, films, everything you could find, any image, any kind of data. Eventually, yeah, the LTDs, the keyword explorers, the AI tools, they'll be connected to that bit chain. You know,
Joe, stop. I can't leave on this note. This stuff blows my mind. I don't get it. This is
Jason,
a
we're gonna
whole
do an after
new
party. Jason, you and me,
Oh,
we're gonna have the after party
yeah.
after this together. We'll do a live and we'll go over all the rest of the nonsense.
Let me grab some caffeine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ruani is saying I'm planning for a workshop live for Nozzle. Joe, anyone else? Yeah, for sure. We'd be
Yeah.
interested. Ruani, keep us posted, right?
Just quickly, Nilesh, on the nozzle one, and it is a very just one liner. The
Yeah,
thing that got
yeah,
me is Derek said that they aim to have the keyword explorer added at some stage in the future. And
yes.
that's just like, okay, yeah, that would be interesting if they add that in there as well. So that was just a nozzle thing, a little hook that got me when
Yeah.
he spoke about that
Mm.
yesterday.
Could I
That
replace
would be
SE ranking with that, Joe?
I think they have like I mentioned yesterday, Nozzle has the capability of being the SE ranking. When
Yeah.
I got SE ranking in 2018, they were kind of in a similar situation as Nozzle, like a data miner, doing a SERP ranking, rank tracker, and then they added the audit tool and all this other stuff. So I think Nozzle can go that way, but the reason
Yeah.
I'm placing my bet on Nozzle, and I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. It's a gamble. Every LTD is a gamble. They've been in the business for years, but they are run by SEOs. SEOs understand. Derek is basically been involved with like half the tools I've used through the last 10 years. He knows the
He's
tools that
actually
I've been
been in
using.
them. He's
He's
been
been
part of the
involved.
team.
He's been part of. He's contributed. He's interacted with the founders or been somehow like a voice. And
Wow.
these people follow him on social media. Uh, we went back and forth, Derek and I, with like agency analytics, which is the gold standard for SEO vendors, to show the SERP stats for your clients. He
Yep.
has worked for that company, been involved, so he knows, and that's the gold standard for that, for like a SERP watch tool.
Okay.
So he knows, but he knows it as a SEO himself. Where
Mm-hmm.
agency analytics is more for I think it was built more by standard user for user. Where now we have a tool built by an SEO for the user. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
think Nozzle, yes, it has a little higher learning curve for newbies, but if you get the hang of it, you're going to learn from an SEO. You're
I
not
tell
going to
you,
learn from.
there was a tool I really regret not getting, and I was highly recommending people to get it. Was that Hexo watch? Do you remember that Hexo watch? It's a
I
really
didn't get that
useful
one.
tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can keep an eye on. I feel as though Nozzle is kind of like that equivalent tool in the SEO world, where you can keep an eye on things and it keeps you informed, and you can mine it.
Oh
And everything
yeah,
like
the
that.
Hexo. Yeah, that watches all the websites across the board.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's it.
regret. I missed that one too. I
I
missed it.
regret it.
I regret that one. I see it in the group. Like I always say, I want to buy that one.
And it's expensive, right?
Yeah, it went up. It's like air meat. The price is high. Yeah,
I
and
bought
I missed that.
Watch too.
You have it, Neelish?
Yeah, I
Do
have
you
it.
like it? Do you like it?
Um, I like it. Like, I mean, I only do so much monitoring. Like, my whole focus is so of course, I mean, I want to do a lot more, And I used to do SEO like a long time back. I would say like, you know, pre 2005 kind of thing, SEO. So I do a little bit now. In the last 5 years, I've done like for some of my own site cloud network solutions. But my whole focus is I'm not looking for inbound sales until this whole SaaS Stripe thing. I'm not looking for inbound sales. I'm looking for outbound sales. So my whole thing is there are a few important tools for me. Number one is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? And the second thing is leads which I'm getting from Cisco, so I know exactly who to contact, right? I
Yeah.
speak to them, I book a WebEx, and I'm into Quiller creating a proposal for them, right? And then that's it, and then they sign. So you know, Hexawatt is there. I receive notifications, but now that you tell me, I know that they have a whole series of applications, and they are all pretty good.
It seems like a really good tool. But when you say you do SEO once in a while, see, my goal is to make SEO like working out, exercise. You should do SEO once a day, 10
Yeah,
10
minutes.
minutes a day.
We're going to have a little training, right?
yeah,
Jason, you'll help me out with this. We're going
yeah,
to do a little coaching.
yeah.
Every
So
day, a
now
little
I do.
SEO for your business.
Now I do. Now I certainly do. And oh, she's probably sleepy, Joe. So
No, she's not.
she's
No,
not.
she's just getting started. She's going to be up and she's going to put you to bed.
Yep. Yep.
She's
You
coming
don't
to
know
the
my
after
kids.
party.
Give her a little bit of a DJ air horn.
Hey, look. Who's that? Oh my god.
So um yeah, I mean, no, I'm doing it, not as much as I would want to, but between running the community and my other work and things
No,
like
I'm
that.
teasing. I'm saying we should do a whole marketing plan that everyone should do SEO 10 minutes a day. Like everyone's always working about like dieting, training. You should go for a walk on the treadmill 10 minutes a day. We
Yeah,
could do a whole marketing plan on just do SEO for 10 minutes a day. You know, get on that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I love what Mo's saying here. Mo sounds like he's a bit of a power user in HexoWatch, but he's also suggesting Hexomatic, which sounds very much like Texel, which automates scraping and all that kind of stuff, joining data together. Oh, so many cool thoughts. I got the idea as you're talking, Joe and Neelish. I reckon, like, we've already kind of like played around with this a bit, like doing a series on content generation using phrase and whatever. So we've Neelish has got a subscription for this group that we've got going in Circle at the moment. I reckon that we'd like be the perfect repository
Yeah.
to put some of the stuff where we. So here's where I'm at. Like I got so many irons going in different fires. I got the yoga thing for my wife's thing on Mastera. I got my own data analytics thing, which is actually a big part of my
I'm the same
business
way.
right now.
Yeah.
But I reckon, I want to put together a sales program for my data analytics stuff, right? So that means kind of sharpening up. There's multiple ways I could go with it, with different offers. There's different sales outreach things. There's SEO and content generation. Wouldn't it be great if we did like short, sharp air meets or whatever? We go, okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's get people in there. And let's cover all the different approaches that we got, but let's do it in a way that's going to actually move the needle. Like we go there with the intent of actually getting a step up on that business. Like, boom, okay, we got that thing out of the way. Value proposition sorted. Next thing, sales strategy using Upticks or Sales Rocks or Snowvio or whatever the tools you're using. Okay, let's do that now. How's that going to work? Let's do that. Boom, great. Let's get your
yeah.
analytics sorted.
So the number
So-
one thing which we're doing, Joe, in terms of SEO, right? In terms of the whole LTD space, is like basically we wanted to, some of the reviews and things like that, right? Yeah, it's great on AppSumo, but like how can we bring that? And it's good, like that we're learning things in our Facebook community and things of that nature. But how can we take that to our site, right? So we thought, okay, if you recall our whole conversation around how can we build something like Captura or G2 specific to the LTD
Mm-hmm.
space, and then
Yeah. It's
every time,
trustworthy. That's verified and trustworthy and authenticated, not bullshit that you see where you get only the positive reviews and all the negative ones are taken down or gamified somehow. Actually real. That's that. I was trying to add that in. Carry on. Sorry. Go. Keep going.
yeah. So now that Diego is back, I don't know, Joe, if you haven't met Diego, but Diego Bai, he's a phenomenal developer. He's also on the team. He is on the admin team as well.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
helped start. Yeah.
and he is a really good WordPress developer. So I've been working with him, and he's working on some of those things. Unfortunately, I can't get him on the live stream because his first language is Portuguese. He's from Brazil. So, but
Hey, it took Neelish. It took months to get me on the live with you. Remember that? I said no, I don't want to be alive. No. You know, so I
yeah.
know. Trust
But
me.
I mean, I've been jumping on calls with him, and so what we want to do is we're looking at what metrics can we have. Like, can we get this input and have like almost like a risk factor, like that, hey, what is the risk factor this LTD is going to go down, right? And things of
Yeah.
that
Right.
nature, right?
Or
So
that is going to be valuable to you in the future,
we're
right?
going to look
Yeah.
into all these data points, and we want to design a page which we could, of course, replicate across all deals.
Yep.
And then so that's the whole thing which we're working on right now. And yeah.
But you went to Circle. You're going to Circle more than making a WordPress website.
No, we are on Circle. So Circle and our WordPress is integrated.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would recommend, from my point of view, definitely have a WordPress as a base.
Yes.
Have the Circle integrated, but have everything going to one core foundation. Because Neelish, as we were speaking earlier today, on
Yes.
Facebook, you get lost on all these events, all these lives,
Yes.
videos. Friends of mine were asking, "Oh, are you on tonight? Or were you on last night? I can't find it." Going through the Miss LTD community, where is the link for it? It's very difficult. But if you have a base foundation, your core, where everything is there, archives, videos, circle, voting, it's all in one website, one.com. That's the way to spread it. And I think we might be spreading it from the Facebook group, which is not the way to go always. Always go back to the domain. People
Yeah.
ask me, "Oh, a SAS Tribe. I'm on Facebook SAS Tribe group. Oh, I'm on the Miss LTD group. Oh, I'm on the Software Shed group. I'm on this one. I'm on Neelish's. I'm friends with Neelish. I see he goes live. No, just go to the .com, whatever the .com will be, SASTribe.com. Go there. You'll see everything there.
Yeah.
And
If we
then
work
people
on the
get
user
used to
interface,
it.
it could help. It could help to kind of direct traffic. So if you went to that .com, it might even just be a one-page application, but at least it could go, okay, you want to get to the blog where the articles are, go here. You want to get to the live
Exactly.
stream, go here. If you want to go, it could be just like a directing
Yeah,
traffic thing.
go to your YouTube page. But when, like you've mentioned in the past, YouTube brings a lot of traffic as well. So
Oh,
once
it's
we get
massive.
100 followers on the SAS Tribe, once we get over 100 followers there, we have the youtube.com/SAS Tribe link. We could send that out to people, and people will just go to the YouTube page.
Yeah.
That's all they want to see. They'll subscribe, but we want to make it easy for people. The social media is the arms of the octopus. The core of the octopus is the .com, .io,
Yeah.
.org.
Yeah.
You need a foundation, no matter what. My opinion, from what I've seen.
No, man, I'll
Yeah.
take that on board. You're the guy, man. We're listening to you. You tell us what
No,
to
I'm
do.
not the
We'll do
guy.
it.
I'm just throwing things against the wall, whatever sticks. If it works, you could credit me. If it doesn't work, don't blame Joe. I don't know what you're talking about. Win, I never said that. What are you talking about? Win, you know YouTube very well, though. I've been listening to you, how to outreach in that direction. And that's, you like you said, if you get something going good on YouTube, you don't even need the website. You could just go on that direction, or TikTok, or this whole new generation Snapchat. Snapchat, I know nothing about. I know the filters, and that's it.
Well, I know this, man. I don't know vlogs. I don't know SEO. I mean, okay, I've dabbled over the years, and I used to be able to hack, I used to be able to get stuff to the top of Google in a day. Using SERP, Six Submitter, and Zruma. If anyone
Look,
knows
you know
those,
your
what I'm
stuff.
talking
With the
about.
digital
Oh,
marketing, you
man.
know it.
You know how to spam if you know those tools.
Yeah, but you know how to do it.
I used to. But as you can kind of tell from my language, recently on the videos and stuff, I'm very good at tactics, man. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a big believer in them, and the reason is I've since come to really appreciate this positive feedback loops thing. That's another thing you'll hear coming out of my mouth constantly. A lot of things that contribute to the ongoing success and growth of any thing is a positive feedback loop. If you can't find a positive feedback loop, if you don't even know what that is, don't worry. You just go. You'll stay on these podcasts long enough, you'll hear about them. But if you can't find a positive feedback loop, no matter what you do, it's not going to work. No tool, no tactic, no amount of money is going to do anything good for you because you're missing the whole point. It's a positive. You need to have a positive feedback loop that's bringing the energy back around and around and around and amplifying it and amplifying it and amplifying it. If you don't have that in your thing, in your product, in your business, in your community, nothing will work. It won't work. So you have to have that. And that's why I'm agnostic when it comes to talking about a WordPress blog versus a video channel versus Facebook groups. These are all extremely powerful feedback loops, and one thing may work a little bit better than another. I'm all for having a central hub, but I'm not at the but I would never go so far as to say that needs to be the main thing, because I'd rather allow the evidence of the feedback loop to teach me that rather than tell it that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie's asking, may I ask the mic name, Nilesh Joe? So, Ron, unfortunately, my mic, I don't know, when I went live, I should have tested my mic. I still do some of these rookie mistakes, but I'm using a Rode Procaster. So, if you look at it, it's right
I'm
here.
gonna Razer. I have a Razer.
And it's an XLR mic, so you need to have an XLR cable. And then, of course,
I was talking to Neelish about this actually with the mics discussion. I was going to get the mic he had, but then I had to invest more money, so I went with the Razer because the Razer matched the webcam I have. So
that's good. But right now, I'm using the MacBook microphone because for some reason, this thing is not like, I have some issue right now. Anyway.
Again, I've had these issues too on the back end as well. Front end, back end. A lot of people don't know there's two sides to every stream. And you have to test everything over and over. Because when I'm in meetings, Google Meets or Zooms, my mic won't get picked up. My Bluetooth headpiece will get picked up instead. It's very annoying. We have to find we'll make an LTD for that, to manage the audio video for meetings.
So I regret to inform everyone that we failed today. We meant to finish by half an hour ago.
Yeah, we meant to finish like 36 minutes ago, but here we are. And that's okay. Chris is like, I just left and ate and watched a show. Is this still live?
Come on, Chris. Come on. That's why, Chris.
Yeah.
I keep it going.
Keep it going. Joe.
No one likes a quitter.
Ruani has been a star viewer tonight. Yeah, thanks, Ruani, for. Are you logged in from 11 machines, by the way? Because it's 12 viewers still. It's like, wow.
We need Ruani on. Ruani, get on.
We're never going to finish this.
Jenny's on. Jenny's on too. Hey,
Jenny, I asked, where's Jenny tonight? We're like talking.
Yeah, no, he's here. He's on. He's on.
Just jump on, Jenny. We'll keep this going for another 3 hours. You watch.
I'm good. I got Red Bull in the fridge. I'm ready to keep going. Let's go.
Venkatesh is still here. Oh, thanks, Venkatesh, for sticking around.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we better wrap it up because I think people are actually waiting for us to finish before they can get on with the rest of their day.
Yeah. I think we can go on, like, because we're, but maybe we can do another session tomorrow or Sunday. And if anybody's watching, if you guys want to join live, you're more than welcome. Just message me, Win or Joe, Jason.
Make sure you bring a beer, because
we can-
otherwise you're not going to be able to join in the silliness.
You could take
That's
my
all.
spot. I talk too much.
Stop it.
Yeah,
No, that was good.
for Win as well. Like, you know, we can just replace him with somebody. He's just like, Win, what do you have to say? Ash Moria. And then he's gone. And
No,
Positive
never
influence,
replace
Ash
Win.
Maria.
Yeah.
You can.
Hailing
I'm a Win fanboy. Never, never.
then
Me and Win. I said Win. We got to do a Fire and Ice show.
Fire
You
and
know, Win is
Ice,
the,
that's
Win.
right.
Win is the calming, soothing voice, and then you have me all hyper, going crazy. Buy this, sell that. You know, it'll be a nice balance.
That's right. I like that name, Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
Reminds me of
Yeah, no, this was great. Win, thank you for, I mean, jokes apart, thank you for all the insights. And
No, thanks, guys. I always enjoy these discussions. I honestly, you know, I'm perpetually curious about these tools and what they can do. Obviously, that's why we're all here and why people are joining us. And we certainly don't have all the answers, but it's also helpful to have a pretty honest discussion about the stuff. You know, like we've been talking up a few things like Mastera and Consulto and whatever. We don't know. You know, we're just playing around with these ideas. But, you know, there's parts of the information that we all have and we can compare notes and go, oh, well, actually, that's going to be useful. I'm kind of I'm still getting my head around nozzle. I still haven't quite got my head around that. Hence my almost dumb sounding questions with Derek last night.
yeah, no, I haven't got my head around that at all. Like, I purchased like tier 3 and I was looking into it and I was like, wow, you know, I mean, I'm going to look into this thing, like, and I need some time to deep dive into this to understand what kind of data it's giving me. And this has got like some massive data points. Like my other thing with Nozzle is like, are they storing this data for every single day throughout its
No,
lifetime?
they're not storing it. That's on the fly. So every time you do a pull, you
No,
get.
but
that
there is no
data.
historical data. There is historical data as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I think there is historical data, right?
Okay. I got that wrong. Oh, so there's not a rank checker or anything like that. Is I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't even know anything about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
I know zero.
I think they're storing historical data. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
it goes into your cold storage, and maybe they can afford it, and then it's like hot storage kind of thing, where you know something which is like right away, which you need. So I don't know how they are storing all that data.
No,
They
Mo's
can
saying it is
afford
stored. It is stored. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, and Jenny's saying it's stored for a year. So there you go.
Oh, it's stored for a year. Okay.
I feel for Jenny because we're just about to wrap up. He arrives and then we drop a nozzle bomb just before
And
we
he actually
leave,
knows what he's
and
talking
Jenny's all
about.
excited.
So we'll do an
And he's
after
listening
show
to
for
us
Jenny.
go fumbling
Jenny, let's
our way
go
through,
on.
not knowing.
I'll
what
get Jenny, Jason, Joe, the 3 J's. We'll keep going.
All right. With that, for everybody who's watching, I really appreciate you tuning in and for all the comments.
So
And
much.
you know,
Yeah.
it's so much fun, much more fun if there is an audience and you keep it
Yeah.
interactive, for sure. Joe, Jason, Win, thank you again for all the insights.
Thanks, guys.
But we
Lot
can
of
close
fun.
it
Thanks,
up
everyone.
with all your comments, guys. Go ahead, Win, Joe, Jason. Go.
High fives. There we go. See you
Okay.
guys later.
It's good having like a round table, you know?
Are we doing this tomorrow or Sunday? Let me know.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go. Yeah, whenever.
All right.
This is great.
and
Bunch of
if
guys
not,
talking LTDs. Love it.
have
See you
a
guys. See you
wonderful
guys later.
weekend. Take care. Okay.
Wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Bye.
Stay safe, everybody.